Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host Matrix Lord 212. Hello everybody. So we're going to be still doing the Real Whovians cast from time to time more often. I am getting my group together slowly but surely. Everybody's appearing in each cast. I look forward to talking to Philip Archer this week, and Jay, and Susie, hopefully Ben, Mongo, Jacob, um, and basically, if I could reach David Aston, that would be great. So slowly but surely, like the days of old on YouTube, I used to do Doctor Who just about every day with the podcast, and it's time to return to that format where you have a place to come as a member of the Rehobians to talk about what you love to talk about Doctor Who, even though Doctor Who is not on TV at the moment. And I felt that it's needed in the Whovian community. A lot of people have forgotten who the real Whovians are and how big we are and how strong we are. And, with everything going on between me being upset with the show, I was going to stop watching the show, and my son getting, involved, and Hayden getting involved, and different changes to the real Whovians where Joe's going to host and guest host and whatever. And then watching it over and over, and Sharon seeing that it bothered me about what's going on with Doctor Who, and she's trying to talk it out with me, and a whole bunch of real Whovians have discussed that they don't want our podcast to end. So there's a lot going on. But despite the gaming, this is what I've always done, is podcasting since 2011, and this will continue. I was a little stronger yesterday to get multiple casts done. I don't know if that's going to be the same today, but I do have to do my gaming as well. So I'm going to try to split my duties between trophy hunting, gaming, and Doctor Who, the Real Whovians cast, and also to the fact that there's so many bad Whovians out there that want to try to stop me from doing what I do and doing what I love. That sort of pissed me off too, because I've never backed down to bullies. So when they kept flooding my channel, and basically these people are regular fans of the TARDIS Zone, I started blocking them, because I'm like, you know what? Every hour on the hour, it's not necessary. Not necessarily for them to badmouth my teeth, badmouth my weight, badmouth my, views, badmouth my credibility. This was all done by TARDIS Zone and their fans, and they're trying to destroy me. And I'm not saying Noel is knowing of this, but it's really fucked up that they're a bunch of losers and have no place to go. So, you just did the opposite, obviously. So I'm more powerful than you could possibly imagine. The real Whovians are more powerful, and our voice is going to be shared and expressed throughout the Whovian community, just as powerful as the negative. Just as powerful as these people that are trying to get the show canceled. We are going to voice our opinions, and we're not going to always agree. And I'm with Philip Archer. What's up, Philip?
Good afternoon. Well, yeah, good evening now. It's 6 o'clock. Right. Yeah. Hello. You surprised me. I was waiting. I was prepared for tomorrow, not now. But never mind. I'm here now.
Well, you got the
Because you
floor.
said you were going to bed.
I
Yeah, I
did,
got the
and then
floor.
so go ahead. Talk about
Yeah, that's
what
what
do you
the
want to talk about? Wish World, reality, the whole finale. What do you want to do?
Wish World. I can't bother with Wish World. That was just. I'm just going to stick with the finale for now. Because that's the most important thing that
Okay.
messed up the whole entire season. Right. Where can I start? I've got a gripe about why did they end Wish World with the TARDIS door blown open and not even revisit that? Why that
You
happened
mean why
and
did they
all this other
end the inter? You mean why did they end the Interstellar Song Contest with the Tardisaurs blowing open, and then go into Wish World, and there's that whole fantasy world? That's what you're talking about.
sorry, my bad. Yeah, my bad. Sorry, yeah, my bad. I just uh, I am
It seems
I'm
to me
quite
that the
annoyed with
Ronnie had
RTD.
harnessed. I know. Me too. You obviously know that. So
Yeah,
obviously the Ronnie had harnessed the energy of the TARDIS, sort of like the Master turned the TARDIS into a paradox machine. Well, RTD, for some reason,
yeah,
is taking elements of all his stories in the past and rebooting them for this Disney era of Who. So the Master had made Howard Saxon had made the TARDIS a paradox machine, to which the whole year he was ruling the Earth, and then it got reversed. The Ronnie somehow put
yeah,
the
basically.
Vindicator into the TARDIS. She manipulated the Doctor into making it so powerful that the TARDIS was actually in the Ronnie's, I guess, throne room or whatever, in
Well,
Conrad's room.
that's a problem. That's a problem, though. You have to explain certain reasons why this, that, and the other is
He
happening or
doesn't.
happened.
He
He
does.
doesn't
He's
do
not.
that. He doesn't do
No.
it.
Well, Moffat never did it really, but now he's starting to not do it
Yeah,
either.
but,
And
yeah,
the
but
whole
at least with Moffat, you've got some sort of understanding of what and why such things happen.
right.
Russell T Davies doesn't do fuck all. He's
We
too
got
lazy.
what we
He's a
got now
lazy.
is well, that's it. The laziness. Here's the thing. What we got now is, hey, did you know that regeneration energy could change the whole entire universe timeline by just shooting the regeneration energy into the TARDIS? First of all, how would the universe know or him know how much energy to use and where to shoot it? And how would that happen that just Poppy would come back into the universe? Like, how would you know that? How would you know what you're doing if you've never done it
Well,
before? And
I, I suppose in a way he programmed the TARDIS to redirect the energy that he put into it to shift the universe how many
but that's
seconds or
the
whatever
problem is
that
that
he
the
needed to.
regeneration energy is the answer to every single question that's ever been posed. And okay,
It's yeah,
here's the thing, right?
it's too it
Remember when? Do you remember when the Doctor regenerated in Trenzalore?
yeah.
Okay. Do you remember before he regenerated in Trenzalore and he went to Trenzalore and it was all wasteland and it was all no vegetation could grow, no humans? That's because in the future he regenerated and wrecked the whole fucking planet to where they had to just get off the fucking
That
planet. The Time Lords gave him a
that
little
might be
extra boost in the regeneration energy to fuck up the Daleks. He destroyed the entire fucking planet, basically. And the church
you can
had to
look at it like that. You
relocate.
could say that.
Yeah, the church had to relocate everyone off the planet when he was taken off with Clara. So, like, that regeneration energy blew up all the freaking Cybermen in the area. Okay. Donna Noble used that as a weapon against the Master, the Meta Crisis / regeneration energy thing. The regeneration energy has basically explained everything, but that is like so lazy that
Yeah.
every single time. Oh, that's how the god became more powerful, right? So if the Doctor has this ability that is more powerful than the gods, how are the gods more powerful? Like none of this makes sense, right? That
None of it
baby that
makes
was
sense.
in the
And
18 Bavaria, right? How the fuck would she know without a TARDIS? How the fuck would she know that that baby was born at that point in time if she has a time ring and she's just doing like a vortex manipulated thing, hopping through time? I mean, is she that
well,
a genius to
that's
know Earth history? To know that that
that's
baby is the
yeah,
seventh born?
yeah, but that's easy though. She can look it up.
Okay.
Whether she's got a TARDIS or not, whether she's got a TARDIS or not, she could have looked it up and see when and how
Well, why couldn't
that
she
God
go
is going
get
to
a
be.
TARDIS? It's time locked. Is that what it is? They can't go to Gallifrey? Is that why you can't get a
I don't
TARDIS?
know.
Because
I
when
don't.
Jody, technically, Jody left the TARDIS in somebody's backyard and just left it there, if you remember. And then she used that TARDIS to destroy the Daleks. And then there was another extra TARDIS that she had. How many TARDISes did Jody have? The Master had like 2 or 3 slash into one. So, like, where the fuck is his TARDISes? You know what I'm saying? So, like she
Mm.
escaped Gallifrey in a TARDIS. It wasn't even her TARDIS. So, like he's like, I'm the only one with the only TARDIS. No, there's probably like 3 or 4 around. David Tennant has a
What I
TARDIS,
don't get,
unfortunately.
what I don't get, or agree with is the fact that the Rani, she said that all Time Lords became sterile after the Master used that genetics
He
bomb
wasn't
to
there.
destroy
He
the.
wasn't on Gallifrey. Doctor wasn't on Gallifrey when he
Apparently,
did it.
I know, but for some reason, for some explanation, they're saying that once that bomb went off, it sterilized every Time Lord in existence.
So he had
That's why
kids
they couldn't have children.
before, right, with a granddaughter like Susan, but then after that they can't.
Yeah, after they can't. At the point of when the Master destroyed Gallifrey and turned them into cyber lords, what you want to call them, that's when the Time Lords became sterilized. They couldn't have children beyond that. Because remember, before
Okay.
all that, there were children on Gallifrey and all that during the 50th anniversary and all that palaver. So
But
it was it was
they
from
were
the point of the
Gallifreyans.
Master.
But like, in
Sorry,
other words, they had as much as he said that their society was advanced, they weren't advanced because they were living in the slums. They weren't in the academy. They were living in rags. There was kids. There was women.
it's just that's
They
just the
couldn't
way.
generate. Yeah.
They could. It's just that's just the way Gallifrey looked at the time. But what I'm
But they
saying
can
is
regenerate now indefinitely. Now all of them.
that somebody was saying, I don't know who it was. Someone said that the reason for the bioregeneration is because Time Lords can no longer had children, the biogeneration was an offshot of how they could continue their existence.
But it's not children. It's them though, split in two.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
So
is always going to cause
it's a weird.
okay. But this is always going to cause a civil war in Gallifrey, because the egos that they have, especially the Time Lords, they're not going to share rule. Like if Rassilon biogenerated, he's not going to share rulership over Gallifrey with another Rassilon. He's going to be like, get the fuck out, and there's going to be a civil war. They have egos.
But
They
also
all have
remember,
egos.
yeah. Also remember, Ronnie's plan was to use some of Omega's genetic structure to repopulate Gallifrey. Once they brought back Gallifrey, they can
Right.
repopulate it with Radulon's with an Omega's DNA. So
Right.
that was her plan
But
ultimately.
she did. But
But
why
that
would
never,
she need
but
his
that,
DNA? Why couldn't she use her own DNA, or because he's a pure
because
Time Lord? Is
because
that why?
because yeah, but no, she couldn't use her or the doctors or anybody else because the Time Lord became sterile. The only
But
person
he's
that was
from
not
adding
sterile at
matter. He
that
doesn't
time
even have a body. So how the fuck would he be a template if he doesn't even have a
they were
body and he's
they were
antimatter?
yeah, but I think they would have reconstructed him in some way where he could still have his Time Lord DNA within him
But the Ronnie
and
never
extract
gave
it
a
from
shit
him.
about that, though. The Ronnie never gave a shit about Gallifrey. She never gave a shit about the Time Lords. She never gave a shit. She
I know
wanted to
that's right.
experiment.
Yeah,
She never gave a shit
yeah,
about
I
that.
know.
Why would she care?
I
Did she
know.
get lonely? Maybe they
It's
don't
bad.
explain anything. That's the problem. Is he don't explain
No,
anything, Russell.
it's bad writing. That's bad writing because obviously Russell doesn't know anything about the Rani or Omega because the way he treated those two characters is abysmal. Is wrong.
I'm sorry. If I
And
was
like
Russell, he should get Omega back for a whole season next year because that's a fucking disgrace.
even bringing out Omega as some sort of ectoplasmic monster thing. That's not Omega. Omega is a
That
Time
looked
Lord
like
human being
yeah.
looking.
Hi.
It could
Oh,
have
by
been
the
a. It
way,
could have been a.
in the chat. Hi, old Doc. Nice to talk to you. Haven't talked to you in a while. And then what's up, Fezman? What's up, Ray?
It's
What's
just,
up, Bad Wolf?
it's just wrong. And what's the point of Belinda? Right? They changed her entire thing from the beginning. They kept saying, "Oh, I've got to get home. I've got to get back to Earth to work or mum and dad." And it all turns out
They
that it's
changed
not
the
about mum and dad.
timeline.
It's about her, yeah,
Yeah, he changed
about
the
her child.
timeline. Her
Now,
timeline for Poppy.
yeah,
But how does
and
that
Poppy
make any
and
sense if Poppy is now two people? Poppy is in Space Babies, and Poppy is in. There's two Poppies now.
I know they're two Poppy. The real Poppy was the one that she gave birth to with her boyfriend that left her. So that's the real Poppy, the
She
one
didn't
in
really
the
leave.
house.
That wasn't. That was. Oh, wait, no. That wasn't the timeline. The original timeline was she was not living at home. She was living in a dorm with all the doctors. They were all eating from the same fridge. They had people's names on it. He's like, don't eat my shit in the fridge. She was not a mother. She did not have a kid. So
but
I
you
was
know
trying to
what?
figure this out. I was trying to figure
Maybe
this out.
she
And I'm
would.
like, could you explain that she was a mother up to that point, and then when it went into space, that blah 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 blah,
Hang
the
on.
time skipping and stuff like
One
that,
minute.
right?
1 minute. Can you send Connor a link, please, if you want to come in?
Yes.
But the point is, oh my god, it was just a mess, complete mess. And
Is he getting
the
older? Is
fact
that
that
what it
we
is?
get
Like old age? That he's fucking up now, or
who
what? Russell, did you
what
blame
RTV? No, he's just
on it? Did you
he's
blame
just a
old age on
no.
it?
All
Like,
it is, no, it's ego. It's his ego because he knows that people are slagging off his work. So he goes, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to screw it up for you and make you enjoy this finale because that's
but
all I'm
his
giving
shit
you.
was so
Fuck
much
you.
better before. Why? But it was so much better than
Because he knows.
before. It was so much better before. Why did his
Because he
writing go down?
because he's thinking about himself, about what he wants to put on the TV, not what's meant to be seen. He wants to give us what he wants in his
Connor,
head. And say,
Why
hello,
is it
Con.
that in the past Russell's writing was so much better, and now it's shit? I mean, did he have people controlling his scripts better, or
No,
editing, or what?
There's a very easy and obvious answer to this, and it's because he's more obsessed now with talking to an audience that has a moral or political agenda than telling a good story.
Yeah.
So he's purposely putting out shitty scripts.
He doesn't believe he's putting out shitty scripts. He wants to use Doctor Who as a vehicle to represent modern day issues, and he wants the show to speak to audiences such as the transgenders and all that. And it's not to say that means it's automatically going to be shit, but my belief is that he's lost sight of the fact that first and foremost, you have to have a good story. He doesn't write for the purpose of having a good story. It's like when Marty, you know how Marty said yesterday that he asked Russell, he kind of suggested to Russell that Gillian Anderson should be the master. That's kind of played on my mind the whole day. Actually,
and he said no because he said that it's too obvious. But
it's too
their
obvious.
minds, their fucking mind is they're warped. Moffat, Russell, and Chibnall all together. The egos, the education, like it's like us talking to them is like ants, like gnats.
Yeah.
Like
why does
we're insignificant. Like what the fuck are you talking about? That would be great.
Why does he talk down casting an actress like Gillian Anderson as the master? Because it's obvious. Why is it a problem that it's obvious? It's a casting decision. Like he would rather these days have, as I said yesterday, Jenna Coleman come back as the master because it's a big shock. He's writing for an audience that tweet a lot. He wants the shock tweets at the end of the episode.
He watches everybody because he's well aware of Nerdrotic. He's well aware of everybody. He's well aware of me. No, everybody. He put in the episode. One, he attacked gaming. For some reason, he has this thing about gamers and gaming, and that all of them, if they're given the power, would be mass murderers, right? Which is ridiculous. And white people. He don't like white people. That sucks. And then three, he just he put down podcasters, YouTubers, like that we could destroy the world if we had enough. If we talked to the right people or said the right thing, we could just fuck up the entire planet based on mass hysteria. Like we had the power as a YouTuber or a podcaster to destroy Unit. Like he made Conrad, which is absolutely insane. He did the thing with the Whovians. That was a jump in the shark. That Doctor Who's a TV show, and Ncuti Gatwa's doctor was more interested in not how to get out of the TV show or that realm, but what's your favorite episode, which was absolutely ridiculous because, again, this was talking in code of blink, 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 blink. How many times are you going to mention blink in the same fucking season?
Mhm.
And the Weeping Angels and the story in the engine. And then Moffat's like, oh, the well is better than Blink. The well is better than Blink. They're all talking in code. We know you're
It's
doing a
bullshit.
sequel to Blink.
But
We know it.
Inua Ellams, who wrote Story in the Engine,
The story.
said before the episode came out that he thinks that an episode like Dot and Bubble is good Doctor Who because it mixes a political modern message with strong emotional story. And that is exactly how I think that a modern Doctor Who should be. There's no issue with going slightly political, talking about for one, let's say immigration, because that's a huge issue in the world. Write a story about immigration.
But they did the Zygons.
Yeah, but
That's your immigration story.
Yeah, but
Connor, to be honest,
write it like the Zygon episode, for example, but have it with a really strong emotional arc with really good characters, and you've got a great TV show.
But isn't the war between the land and the sea sort of an immigration issue because it's like dominance over the earth?
Well, I don't know because I've not seen it yet. But let's say that hits the mark, then I would call that great Doctor Who.
But I like that.
Wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. Yeah, but wait. Listen, guys. Listen, right? When you live in a world where all that is going on around you anyway, you don't want to come home, sit in front of the telly and watch Doctor Who and see all that played out in front of you.
I absolutely agree.
I don't want that.
I don't want that either.
I 100% agree with you. I don't think every episode should be like that. But the ones that are, which is the ones that RTD wants to write, they need to be better than what he's doing. And the only person that seems to understand that right now and he's writing Doctor Who like that is Inua Ellams.
And Moffat.
He wrote, and sometimes Moffat. Inua Ellams wrote the best example of how a modern Doctor Who, to me, should look in this day and age, doing exactly what RTD wants to do, but better. He's been outshone by one of his
let me tell you something. Everything that he watches, he implements into Doctor Who, right? And he said this. He saw Shrek, and he's like, oh, the way Princess Fiona with all that glowing energy, that's what the regeneration energy needs to look like. And then he made that in all the New Who, that's the way the regeneration energy looks like from Shrek, right? He likes that the Vulcans have the mind meld. He did that the Doctor and the Time Lords do the mind meld. He likes it that the Time Lords should be burned because he took that from the Jedi, and the Jedi need to be burned so their DNA don't get cloned or whatever. So like he's taking the thing that the Kryptonians are sterile, but yet Kala was born Superman and everything, and he makes that into Time Lord Society. They're implementing every single thing from all these shows. WandaVision was Wish World. And he's trying to make Doctor Who into it, and the message is coming out wrong because he's getting it wrong. He's bringing characters into the classic series, but he's altering them in a way where they're unrecognizable to classic Doctor Who fans, right?
Exactly.
I thought The Legend of Ruby Sunday was perfect, right? Now, yes, he could have been the dog on the TARDIS, but then he could have changed his form to be like humanoid type of thing, like Pyramid of Mars or whatever, and then he could have walked around like a man and started being like that. Just because the style of a god, he could have changed his form from the dog to whatever. There's no reason as a god would think that an animal and a pet would be godlike. They would think a pet being a little ant or an insignificant servant or whatever, that a god would not take the form of an animal thinking that is superior to what they were before. They would be like godlike, like he was in Pyramid of Mars. He wouldn't be a dog, and then Omega would not be like a fucking creature. Like that's like going back to the Stone Age. Like what the fuck are we doing? What is your perception of reality when it becomes the gods? So while The Legend of Ruby Sunday was perfect because it scared the fucking shit out of you right? With the zombie shit. Like, now you know that Russell T Davies could probably work for The Walking Dead and fucking Evil Dead and do horror movies because he scared the shit out of you with Susan Twist being a fucking vessel for Sutek, gonna fucking rip your fucking guts out. It was blood and gore and rated R. So that was great. Destroying the whole fucking planet was great, but he should have stopped being a dog. He should have been fucking Sutek, the Pharaoh, the whatever, and changed form. He got it wrong where you're taking the fucking Sutek for walkies. I didn't fucking enjoy the second part. And half the time, right, Philip and Connor and Ray, they fuck up the second part.
Yeah.
All the time. Right?
He can't land a finale to save his life anymore.
Now, here's the thing. In this instance, I felt the finale was better than the first part. The first part I felt was shit. Because the first part, we got Dr. Light every fucking season. Right? Now the whole episode, he's not being the doctor. He's being... Yeah.
The problem with the Omega thing, for me, is like, if you didn't know how to flesh out Omega, why did he put it in the first place? It was a waste of time. No point in having Omega in it. If you're only going to have, and at the same time, if you're only going to have the Rani in two episodes to be eaten up like a piece of morsel meat.
And Omega was not banished by the fucking Time Lords. Omega was not banished by the Time Lords.
No.
He fucking
it wasn't.
Created time now, but he didn't experiment to give them time travel technology, but he got trapped in an antimatter universe. None of the Time Lords thought he was alive because when he encountered Omega and three doctors, right, they all worshipped him like a god, but they did not know he's alive in the antimatter universe until the doctor encountered him. And then he wasn't even aware of that what they were.
I'm going to propose an alternative Series 2 arc, and I guarantee that it's far more coherent than what we got. So, Poppy is the arc. So, who is Poppy? You link it in with the Rani, because the Rani does experiments between humans and Time Lords.
What?
So, basically a bit of a baby farm. They can still be sterile, so there's still the question of how is this even possible. But have the answer be the fact that the Rani has done an experiment to allow it to happen. You get rid of the whole Omega thing because it's irrelevant. It's done in 30 seconds anyway in the actual, as it actually appeared. So you get rid of that. You've already got a purpose for Belinda still.
Yeah.
The whole Conrad thing can stay. So you have the whole Conrad thing going on alongside. So you basically have two stories going alongside each other. And it's far more coherent than what we got.
Do you think the problem is everyone that we only get 8 parts to a series now? And if it was a bit more longer in a series,
the 8 episodes thing is harming the show. And
here's an interesting thing. What if the creation by generation could have helped them not be sterile? Because once you generate out of that body that's sterile, you're going into a new body that is not sterile. So therefore, that would have been an easier route.
And every time they regenerate, it's a new body.
No, I think the biology of the character to that degree would stay the same. It's just that the face changes, doesn't it?
We still don't know what that is. He never explained it. He said he was going to explain it in the finale.
But I could have sworn that when Time Lord regeneration changes everything, even inside, is different.
Well, sometimes it doesn't. Like with the example of Tek Taeyun, she said it changed everything but her eyes. She said, "I have."
Yeah, I get that. But what I'm saying is,
if that was true, Philip, what's to say that the Doctor doesn't suddenly just have one heart?
Oh yeah. Well, they do say that
there's some fundamental.
Yeah, but they do say that William Hartnell's Doctor only had one heart, and only gained second when the second Doctor came about because he grew into a different body and therefore he gained a new heart. So
I have a question. Obviously, Russell in his brain knows how the world works according to the universe he's established with storylines, right? but he doesn't realize that he's not sharing what's in his brain with us, right? So now you have a situation. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I Connor would have to help me with this if he knew the answer. I don't know if you know the answer, Connor. What is the year of the Space Babies? And is that year of the Space Babies the same year as Boom? Because now you have Poppy in the Space Babies future, and you also have Belinda Chandra, but for some mysterious reason called Monday Flynn, around that same time period. So is something going on where here we go, Poppy is a Time Lord, and Belinda, for some reason, is a Time Lord because they're traveling and they're living through centuries, and maybe Belinda is Monday Flynn looking for Poppy, but now her memory got skewed because now you have two versions of Belinda and two versions of Poppy. In the future, around the same time period, you have Belinda and you have Poppy, just like in the past you have Belinda and Poppy. So is that connected?
I don't think at the time of when Space Babies was based was ever said, but I don't think that Boom is the same year. I think Boom,
but he didn't establish if she was the same exact person though.
Space Babies is based in 21,506. So that's the year. Bear me a second. And Boom is based in 5,087. So no, there's a fair distance.
Okay. It's just a coincidence why she looks like. Okay.
Oh no, it was Monday Flynn was explained. It's a distant relative of.
Oh, it is a descendant.
Belinda Chandra, yeah. She's like thousands of years in the future.
Like Autumn Pink do the Danny Pink.
But Poppy is from Belinda, and then Monday Flynn is a descendant of Poppy, right?
Yeah.
Then you can't have Poppy be a descendant of Poppy. So Poppy.
Well, that's what doesn't quite track with me, and which I still don't quite understand, and I don't think got a proper explanation. Is why is Poppy on the space station, but then also Belinda's daughter?
Yeah, well, we tried to question the same thing, but they got shut down, didn't it?
What if the Doctor was tricked into fucking up the universe, and they just made Poppy vanish, but she wasn't erased from existence because the gods have mastery over our universe and that applies to the time travel laws. So what if they wanted the Doctor to fuck up the universe doing that, but Poppy just exists now as a paradox?
Do you know what wouldn't surprise me is like Ray said then, Ruby pointed out the fact that Poppy was on the space station in Space Babies.
And the Doctor shut it down.
And then the Doctor shut it down. Is that RTD actually couldn't explain why this character appeared at the beginning of the previous series in this role on the space station, and then also is somehow Belinda's daughter.
And he just mixed it in, and it didn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Anita Dobson's like, oh, he's a master that he can do something in Space Babies, and then years later revisit. No, he's not, because it can't be explained.
And this is why, and that's why I go back to the point I make about 8 episodes. 8 episodes is killing the show because we're not getting all these
I agree with that.
No, the plot points are getting fucked up, and it's like causing us now.
This isn't Game of Thrones where the episode is like an hour and a half or whatever, or Game of Thrones is like, Doctor needs to be 13 plus a Christmas special. That's what I feel.
Right. Can we make a point of the fact that Shooting must have left the show long before the reshoot, which was in February? So he must have left the show.
He wasn't. Okay, so let me just clarify that, because he was under the impression that when he was done with the play on January 31st, or January 20, whatever, that he was going to film season 3. Now, when he went on Graham Norton, he was all excited. I'm going to do season 3. We're going to do a Christmas special, all that, right? They cut it off.
Yeah.
And then when the play was done, now here's the thing. I know all about the play because I know Marty went to the play, Russell went to the play. In the play, Ross is in the play with Shooty. Russell had talked to the actor that played Davros, asking him to return as Davros in a future season. He said yes. They had all these grand fucking plans, right? Something happened that put a stop to everything. And then when it was realized that season 3 is not going to happen, all right, he quits. But then he films a regeneration scene.
I think what has happened is that Shooty has got, because I don't think he was sacked, but I think that he might have got a job offer that hasn't yet been announced to the public.
Well, we already announced what the job offer was that wasn't announced to the public. He's got the Disney Plus hired him for Jungle Book animated for a 4-month voiceover shoot.
Yeah. So let's say for example, it's that. So he's got that between Graham Norton and February. So he's probably thought this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Because there's going to be an obvious delay with series 3. He's probably spoken to Russell, and they've worked out a way of kind of seeing Shooty off, but being able to go ahead with series 3 as planned, maybe. So I think that the only thing that could have turned Shooty's head is the fact that he's possibly got this big job offer. Let's say, for want of a better example, Jungle Book. In the US,
that's an American. First of all, that's an American role in one of a pastime of one of Disney's all-time most popular animated things. That's now getting a series that will propel him because he'll be on good graces with Disney Plus. He will get movie roles, possibly in the MCU or Star Wars, connected to Disney. So that will propel his career dramatically.
Yeah,
especially if he's in Star Wars, especially if he's with. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But isn't his best friend Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, he's quite good. He's quite good friends with Ryan Gosling.
And isn't Ryan Gosling the hero of the new Star Wars franchise that he's supposed to be a Jedi?
It's a fair point.
So isn't he supposed to be a Jedi / pilot? And don't you need a Sith Lord that Shooty Gatwa could be to be the villain to Ryan Gosling?
It'd be interesting if Shooty does, because I think he's the only cast member that's been cast in that film so far, Ryan Gosling. So it'd be interesting. You could get Shooty.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna speculate that he's gonna be in the new Star Wars movie. Not only am I gonna wait, I'm one more thing. Also, he went to a party with Verada See-Through and Domingo. I'm sorry if I got his name wrong. He's been in Fear the Walking Dead, and he's also the voice of Norman Osborn. He signed for multiple seasons in Spider-Man, the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And I'm also going to go out on a limb and say that Shooty Gatwa is going to be the voice in the Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, as somebody in the future. Right? So now, this Disney Plus Jungle Book thing has evolved into Star Wars, Spider-Man, all these different things. He's already set for the next year and a half.
Also, Barbie is getting a sequel.
There you go. Yeah. And he got a Barbie Ken doll and Movie Sunday.
Yeah, I'm still pissed about Ruby getting a doll and not seeing it through.
Could it also be possible that with all the negative things about when Shooty started, everything was kind of negative about it, that they thought it's not going to work, and we got it's not helping the show, so we got to let you go because nobody's liking having you in the show.
Why?
You know what I mean?
There's two ways you could go about doing this, right? Let's be now a hypothetical entity called the Evil Disney Plus, right? Okay, so I am the head of the Evil Disney Plus, right? And I want Shooty Gatwa gone, but I have no say because I'm just hired as a streaming service. So what I would do is I would manipulate the fucking situation where I would, if I wanted Shooty Gatwa gone so bad and they weren't listening to me, I would delay the fucking season 3 purposely to cause friction for him to get another job. And then if that didn't work, I would give him a job as the fucking voice of Mongoli in fucking Jungle Book, forcing him to leave my other fucking show, right? And then get him out of Doctor Who. If that was a hypothetical, me being evil Disney Plus.
That's what I was trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Disney Plus probably didn't like the idea of
There is a possibility that they outsmarted them, and that's what happened. That is a possibility.
Yeah.
But they don't hate him. But then, they like him as an actor, and they want him in their projects.
I'm
just Doctor Who.
I'm just sad that we won't ever see his Dalek story.
You know what I think?
Well,
I think that honestly, I think that everything is complete bullshit. Because if Philip remembers and Connor on the cast, I said that at some point in time, Christopher Eccleston's going to return as a 9th Doctor in Doctor Who. I said that Moffat's going to come back. I said Russell's going to come back. I said David Tennant's going to come back. I said I didn't believe it. I said on the Everything Show that Alfred Molina is going to return as Doc Ock. I said that William Dafoe is going to return as Green Goblin. Here's my take. Everything could happen. It's all about this. Okay? You fucking could be enemies. Russell and fucking Christopher Eccleston could fucking hate each other. You give them both knives, they could stab each other. But if there's an opportunity where they could both be filthy rich off each other, then Russell could go to fucking Christopher Eccleston's house. Here's fucking $2 million. Plus, we'll give you 17 fucking shows because I'm going to be the showrunner. I'm going to be in Disney Plus. I'm going to have BBC shows. You will never have to worry about never working again because I will get you roles every single fucking year until you die, right? Now, what did Christopher Eccleston say? Christopher Eccleston said in a fucking Comic-Con that if Billie Piper returns, she should be the Doctor. He would return if she's the Doctor, and he would help her, right? If even under Russell, and they hate each other.
I'll be back in a minute. Just give me 2 minutes.
So the point is, money talks, bullshit walks. Don't ever think it's never going to happen because we had David Tennant return 5,000 times. We had David Tennant try to regenerate, threw it in the hand. Then we got a meta crisis, David Tennant. Then we got a 14th Doctor, David Tennant. And we're probably going to have David Tennant return again. So that is all out the window. Okay. Christopher Eccleston. And again, look, nobody's perfect. All right. And I've gotten things wrong, but the majority of shit I have said on my channel, I have gotten right. Because my haters will be like, you said Judy was going to say. Yeah, but who told you fucking that it was definitely going to be that Russell was going to return to Doctor and Moffat? Me. Years ago and decades ago. Who fucking said that Alfred Molina was going to return as Doc Ock? Me. Who said Norman Osborn was going to return as Norman Osborn? Me. Who said Toby's coming back? Me. Who said Andrew's coming back? Me. Who said there was going to be a sequel to King Kong versus Godzilla in 2011? Me. Right? So I said that Doctor Who, they were going to fucking have Paul McGann back. I said that fucking this was going to happen. Majority, I was wrong on stuff like, oh, Jodie getting pregnant, so she can't be in Doctor Who. Okay, you can't fault me for that because that is one of those variables that stuff can happen. Same thing like Capaldi. Chibnall didn't want Capaldi, so Capaldi, even though he said he's going to put 10 years. So Noel can't hold that to me because when it comes to shit like that, things could change because and again, you can't go on your podcast like Noel does in Tar Zone and say that Major Slud said that Shooty Gatwa was going to do season 3. Want to know why you can't say that and why you could never bring it to my attention and you could never have your fucking troll loser fucking Whovians go against me on my channel? Because Shooty Gatwa himself said he was going to film season 3. So fuck off, Tar Zone fans. fuck off. Because Shooty got away himself said he was going to do season 3, so fuck off. Matrix Law 2 and 2 is not wrong. Shit happens in life. It's called that 1%. So I've gotten where Noah's been wrong every single year. 2017 Doctor Who's canceled. 2018 Doctor Who's canceled. 2019 Doctor Who's canceled. 2020 Doctor Who's canceled. 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. How many fucking times has Noah been wrong about Doctor Who being canceled? 9 times. Right? Not only that, he never called shit earlier. He never called the Sea Devils before I did. He never called any of that stuff before I did. Okay? He bit before me. And to try to get fucking trolls against me, he lied and said that he made a statement saying that I took from Gallifrey Base when he has no fucking idea. And anytime somebody did the news, they said where they got it from. So he was a jealous bitch. And he created problems for me with fake trolls.
Listen. I don't want you talking about that sort of stuff on right now, because that's nothing to. We're not here to venerate you or anything like that. We're talking about Doctor Who. I don't want you talking about that sort of stuff. It's none of my business, nobody else's business, right? So just leave it there and carry on with the show. I don't want to have your platform to bitch and shout at anybody else out there. It's not about that. This is about Doctor Who, mate. Please. Otherwise, I'm just gonna walk away and let you do your rap.
I just said go. I just said go. I just said go ahead.
Okay,
I said, what does this mean? What does this mean? Salute?
But the point is, you're always trying to make the point.
I just wait a minute. You wanted to shut me up, right? I agree with you.
No.
That's it. Go. We're done. We're not talking about it. Go. Talk about Doctor. We're going. We're done. I agree with you.
Oh. It's just every opportunity you do this to yourself. You don't need.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but all you're doing is inviting people to fight.
We're done. I said we're done. You don't want me to talk about it now. You want to talk about it. We're done. There's a reason why I mentioned it, is because every single hour on the hour when I'm sleeping, I'm getting beeps that people are fucking harassing me on my channel, and my girlfriend's crying because fucking they give my address out. So I'm sorry. I'm going to mention it once in a while because they never stop.
Yeah,
but now, I agree
with
you. I agree with you. Go ahead. You're right. It's a disrespect for you. You're a member of the Whovians cast. I respect you as a member.
No, it's not me that I'm saying it for. I'm saying it for yourself. I'm trying to help you.
Okay. And I'm also trying to tell you, I respect you. And I listened to you. And in the past,
I know you.
You had stopped a war from happening because I listened to you. And Connor too.
I remember that. Yeah.
So I would like to saluting.
Go down that road. I know you're going for.
Okay. I am not a character. I am not. There is no character of Matrix Law 2 and 2.
1 minute. Hello. Can you just empty that for me, please? And my care is there. That's all it is. It just turned up. Do what you got to do. I want to deal with this. Okay. So what I'm saying is,
one second. I have to say this before you say it. This is not a show, meaning I'm not a character. Okay. I am not this. I'm Matrix Law 2 and 2, right? Which is another name for me, Joseph J. Capriccioso, right? I don't play a character.
Yes.
Okay. This is real life. Okay. I'm not where as a YouTuber, you're fake. I may do comedy shit, but I am really Matrix Law 2 and 2. Real person, right? Just weird name, but okay, right? You're a member of my show. You have been on 1,000 or more fucking podcasts. Okay. I am not the Matrix Law 2 and 2 that everybody goes on the internet and says, he's an evil son of a bitch. He doesn't give a fuck about his people. He lost all his people. That's all fake bullshit. Because when you guys speak, and we're off air a lot, when you guys speak, I listen. And I always listen. So when you and Connor came to me and said, you need to, like, Dr. Freedom tried to start a war with you, and you...
Just a cup of coffee would do.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry. So
When
yeah, I
when
understand
when
where you're
that
coming
time
from.
when
I
when that
understand.
time that wait when that time when look, that's why the doctor needs companions, right? I need my members. You're my companions, right? So
Yeah.
if I go too far, like killing the Rachnos and all the fucking spider children, you're Don and Noble.
Stop
Right?
it. Yeah. Okay.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Hasn't that
Yeah.
happened? Hasn't when Dr. Freedom, I'm sorry, everybody mentions everybody. So when Dr. Freedom went on Twitter and put me in a classification to start a war with me, saying you're in bed with Bolstrick and all that other stuff because I'm friends with Bolstrick, right? Look, I may not agree with Bolstrick,
Yeah.
but I'm never going against Bolstrick because I consider him a friend, even if we didn't talk lately. But I like his style, and I may not agree with it, but I love his videos and I love everything about him. So I'm not enemies with Bolstrick. We haven't talked lately, but even when he was going to leave, I said, don't give up your name. But besides that point, when Dr. Freedom tried to start some shit and I was going to go back at him, you and Connor on the fucking cast took a vote. The real Whovians took a vote with me and said, you can't go in that direction. And what did I do? I listened.
You listened.
I listened.
Yes.
I listened. I listened.
Yeah.
Because
But I understand.
Listen, I'm not gay, but I love you. Okay? No, I'm sorry.
I know.
Like, you're my members. I love you. Okay? I listen.
Yeah.
I do go too far. When I go too far with certain things, Sharon tells me to. My kids tell me to.
It's all
You
right.
tell
We'll
me.
just think. It's all right. We'll nickname you Conrad from now on.
I apologize to Philip Archer. I'm not here to disrespect you.
No, it's not. Listen, it's not me you should be apologizing to. It's yourself. Because what you're doing, you're digging a hole for yourself to let people,
No, I'm not.
let people
You
in
want to
to
know why?
attack you
You
all
want
the
to know
time.
why I'm not? Because I was leaving Doctor Who forever. Okay, I was done in that
Yeah,
video.
I know. I saw that.
Right? I said this is the last
Yeah.
Whovians cast. Right? That was it. Again, no one's going to change my mind.
You want anything else?
No, we're all good. Thank you. If I do need it, I'll do it myself. I'll be fine. Yeah. Thank you. Right. You were saying
these
sorry.
people, if they would have, I was done. I was leaving, and then Hayden reached out to me. Joe reached out to me, and it was like, oh, it's kind of not fair. Basically, real Whovians have no place to go. They still want to talk about Doctor Who, but you don't. So I'm like, all right, well, and they were like, oh, they voted. They want to we want the real Whovians to continue. And I'm like, all right, well, then I guess, and then Joe wants to host it, he can host it, right? So, like, that's the thing. It's like I was going to just be there that one episode with Joe and then not watch Doctor again, right? But these people, all they had to do is shut.
Right, see you later.
All they had to do is shut their mouth.
You go.
And leave it alone. And Matrix Law was not going to come back and do anything with Doctor Who. But they kept harassing me every hour in the hour, 1 million people. Right? Besides that, Sharon was like, no, you're not wrong with this. You should watch Doctor Who. Joe was like, you should watch Doctor Who. And then I'm trying to promote Joe and Anthony, and then Joe doesn't want like that nonsense on his channel. He don't want himself promoted because the trolls go after him. And he don't want that. And Anthony don't want that.
That's
so,
my worry. You know what?
They didn't do
That's
anything.
my worry.
They did
Because...
it on their own. But that without me saying anything, they did it on. It went on their own. So I got mad. So I get mad sometimes. So then it's like, all right, you know what? I'll just host a Real Whovians cast because I don't want people getting whatever. But it doesn't matter even if I'm quiet for a week. When I've been quiet for a week, I would get a message. Oh, like that jerk. Give me $500. And if you don't, I'm going to leak your address. And what did they do? They leaked my address. I told them to go fuck themselves, right? But even when I'm quiet, people fucking go after me. Because of my name. They want my name linked to them to boost them. It's always been that way. So me being quiet does nothing. And it doesn't, for my peace of mind, no, because they still attack regardless. But you are right. You are right. There is a time and a place. And if I'm going to rant about that, do it on my YouTube channel, not on the Real Whovians. Like Noel does it on Twitter.
Exactly.
You are correct.
Yeah, because Although I went away for a little bit, I was listening to what was going on, and the more you were going on, the more I was getting upset about it, thinking, why are you doing it to yourself by letting them have more ammunition against you by you ranting and raving when you shouldn't even bother to do that? Just be happy doing your podcast and having fun
I
with
am doing.
talking about the episode.
I am
So,
happy. Listen.
but you didn't need to. But you didn't need to sideswerve like that. There was no point in sideswerving like that.
What?
There was no point in that. It when you sideswerve into talking about Noel and God, it was like you do that almost every day anyway. Stop doing it unless you actually need to do it. Don't do it in a show that you're hosting
Okay.
about Doctor Who, because that puts people off. And it's probably why Connor's gone, because
Okay.
he don't want to be sitting in the middle of that.
You're right.
All right, I do apologise, but it just got on my nerve. It's just like, oh
Listen,
God, not again, Jay. It got.
No, I know you didn't. I know you didn't mean
Yeah.
to yell at me, and I didn't mean to yell at you too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're
Look,
just trying to help
Don't
each
you
other.
know?
That's it.
Don't you know? You know I care about you guys, and even there was a time when you were mad at me, and I tried to take that extra step to try to mend the fence with you just to get you back on. Remember? So like,
Yeah.
you're correct. I have to be the leader to where I am. With great power comes great responsibility, and like put that behind me.
Yeah.
Just be
Exactly.
the host that
With
everybody loves,
great power comes
and
in.
and
Yeah.
and
I know.
and the
It's hard.
podcast where
I
everybody
know it.
wants to return to.
And that's partly why people probably don't want to interact, because they're going to get dragged into this kind of war against
No,
podcasting.
it is.
We don't want to be a
No,
part
it
of a war.
isn't that. But here's the thing. There's a reason why everybody comes back. It's because they like it here. They love the real
Yeah.
Whovians. Not just me. They love it here, and I try to do that. I try to give people where even if you don't agree with me, you could be on here. So like, you are right. Look, I am not perfect, and I have a lot of shit
I
that
know.
happened to me.
Yeah,
this past
nobody's
year with
perfect.
Charlie.
Nobody's perfect.
No.
Also, but you know
Just
what?
do it.
My health went. My health went in the toilet. I understand that. That's not your fault. That's not anybody's fault. And then also, I was in a position where I couldn't even podcast for a little while because my health was in the toilet. And yesterday, even Hayden said, "What happened? Because now you're better. You could last on the podcast for hours." I have no idea, but I did have some medical issues yesterday on and off. But I'm getting better for some reason, which is good.
No regenerating.
Good.
Yes,
That's a positive thing. Good.
that maybe that's a good thing. I want the Whovians, everyone to return that could possibly return, and I would never make people feel uncomfortable in here. You disappeared, so I was just ranting. It wasn't going to be a thing with whatever, and you came back, and it's like, okay, I will do my best.
Yeah.
I would do my best to try to not talk about
I know you
trolling
will.
stuff.
I know it's
on the
difficult
real
right now for you.
It's one thing
Yeah,
on my
I know
single
it's difficult
videos, I
right
can
now,
do whatever I want.
as you said. Yeah, but like I said, I understand where you're coming, where everybody at you all the time, and that's a difficult thing. I wouldn't want that. That's hell to me. That is hell. But just try and ignore some of it and not get yourself drawn into it too much. Just let them say what they've got to say, and just say, yeah, whatever, and just carry on and do it yourself.
I don't
Just don't let them draw you in.
Yeah, don't really like the Fifth Doctor when he lost Adric.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm sorry that I put that on you, but it was just getting me down. It was like, oh my God, we're going through this again. But I don't need to hear all that. I'm not interested in other people's bitching and fighting and stuff like that. I just want to talk about Doctor Who. But anyway, let's clear that and go back to where we were. In regards to Red to War now, right? Don't you think what's her name? Oh God, I forgot her name. Because of all this, I forgot her name. The nurse. The nurse. What's her name?
Oh,
Belinda Chandra.
Slim. Oh, Belinda.
Yeah.
Belinda Chandra.
Belinda, yeah. Don't you think she was wasted? In a sense that they hardly did anything with her. They hardly did anything with her. And then for even them to lock her in a box for most of the episode, it was like, what was the point of her? And they kept changing, like you said, they changed her storyline, timeline.
I like that. You know what the sad part was? She was acting like Tegan Javanka or more, like a 2025 version in the first episode.
Yeah.
You need to get me home.
Exactly.
And then that completely was gone. And then she's like, oh, I can't wait to do this. And you're dressed. And she's like, I love you, Doc. You're the greatest. And it's like, what? What happened? Right? And then I did like that. I did like, for some mysterious reason, that she's so amazing that even though he was gay, he was no longer gay and had a kid with her. That was amazing. I'm joking about that, but like they had a kid, right? She was so amazing that he had a kid with her. But then
that kind of fucked up. That fucked up with me.
That whole thing.
That was even weird.
Her with the blanket. Yeah. But I asked Sharon to explain that to me, right? Because I thought it was like I'm in love with you type of thing, couple. But she's explaining to me that Ruby's looking at her like that was me a year ago. Like I got the attention from the doctor, and it was not. She wasn't jealous. She was whatever it was, and she was just looking at that. That was my life. That's the way he looked at me. That's the way all the attention they're giving me. And now she has a kid with him, and it's like, like they were so close. Like it's like that companion came closer than fucking Rose Tyler and River Song and everything else because they shared a kid. So it was like that was an amazing chemistry. And then doesn't make sense. He's a Time Lord. He's supposed to be able to see if time has changed. But in that one instance, he couldn't, but she could. But again, Russell don't explain why Ruby has those powers. But yes, Belinda Chandra,
exactly,
it ruined her whole timeline because now she's a mother and she wasn't a mother before.
Yeah, because
and the fact that sorry, but the fact that the doctor and all the times are sterile, right? How is it he could have a baby in the first place? Even if he did the dirty with her, it didn't make no sense.
Because
if they're meant to be sterile.
Well, that's another thing.
Oh, so they wished the baby.
The doctor. No. Nobody wished him to have a baby because Conrad was making the wishes. So even if they were an alternate reality, how is that possible? That is true. It wasn't the wish baby. It wasn't the wishes. It was something else that made it where she could have a baby. They had sex and they had a baby.
Yeah, which
that's somebody
doesn't
else.
Make any sense.
That's another villain.
Because if you're reading this,
that's another villain.
Okay. Maybe the baby is real because it's a product of Belinda and her ex-boyfriend, and they put those two into that wish well, and they made the doctor think it was his child. That's the other way you can explain it.
Could it be possible that?
Hang on, your audio's going out.
From the future and popped her in there. Is it possible they?
I don't know. I can't explain it.
Space baby from the future.
Because if you think about it, Conrad, like Philip said, Conrad, if he was doing the wishes, he would have wanted the doctor to be in like some kind of cell or something because of how he treated him, or something. It doesn't make sense, does it?
I just feel, you know what I think?
Right. I think I agree with you.
Russell, Moffat, and Chibnall, they need to all take a step back and realize they're not explaining everything, and maybe they need to spend an episode explaining it. Because we don't know what's going on in Russell's head.
What was the point?
He didn't explain bi-generation.
He kind of said a few words about it. Like I said, they said that she said, Norani, that whoever it was detonating a genetic bomb, which caused the Time Lord to be sterile, and that made me think about the Master destroying Gallifrey at the time. That bomb that he let off.
The bi-generation thing is a new thing now because of the Master destroying Gallifrey.
They're kind of saying that because the Time Lord became sterile, the regeneration was trying to work a way out way of trying to extend the existence of the Time Lord, and that's why you get the split regeneration. It's like trying to give birth another way.
Well, why would the regeneration be an entity?
It's
How
always
would
been
the
an entity.
regeneration
It's always been
know?
alive.
The regeneration's an entity?
Well,
No,
it might as well be.
a regenerative. It's a regenerative. It's not like Venom, symbiote, and Spider-Man. It's like
but unless
why can't we just say he fucked up
Ronnie,
and he just didn't explain it?
okay, he fucked up. Okay, he fucked up. You need to explain it. That's fair enough.
He fucked up. I mean, look, I like Russell, but he fucked up. The Ronnie doesn't give a fuck about the Time Lords. He fucked up. Omega's not a fucking alien resurrection fucking rejected creature. Fucked up. Russell T. Davis, I'm sorry, you're not perfect. You fucked up.
It's like the zero room. The doctor was 100% sure it would stop Poppy not going away, and then she went away
That's
anyway.
another thing. Right. And Philip. All right, the doctor was being a dick to Ruby, right? But the moment that she mentioned Zero Room, he should have remembered having the Zero Room in Castrovalva, and he should have believed her 100% right there in that moment she said Zero Room. But because Shooty Gatwa doesn't know what the fuck a Zero Room is, and Russell never explained it to him, then you didn't get the proper fucking reaction because the doctor doesn't know the Zero Room because the actor doesn't know the Zero Room. The moment she mentioned Zero Room, he should have been like, she knows what she's talking about because she should know possible what a Zero Room is. I believe Ruby Sunday. He didn't.
He had no memory of Castrovalva and being in there at all, did he?
But the doctor does, but Russell did not educate the actor about
No, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
If you're going to do a fucking story and you're going to use elements from the classic series, you need to sit down, Shooty, and say, Shooty, when you were the Fifth Doctor, you had trouble with regeneration, and the TARDIS created the Zero Room to help you with regeneration that blocks you from time and space. He never explained that.
Yes.
That's why Chibnall, never wanted Jodie to see past doctors, and then she did after the first season on vacation. That's why she became a better doctor.
And even when she come back for this little brief cameo, you could tell she still learning.
She knew what the fuck she was talking about better than she's ever done.
This is why I'm confused as to how could he write the Ronnie the way he wrote her. It's like he never watched Marco Rani or Simon Rani, whoever it is. It's like he doesn't know the character at all. He just wrote her the way he wants to write her, and it was totally wrong.
He did watch it, but it's sort of like it's sort of like Zack Snyder, 5 years old, in the playground. Wouldn't it be cool if Batman fucking branded people with a branding iron and tortured people and his villains? So yeah, Zack Snyder read Batman comics. He knows Batman, but he's like, wouldn't it be cool if Batman's like, fuck you, Superman. I'm the authority on Earth.
It's all right.
What?
It's all right. Lavani liked Conrad's dimples, didn't she?
Yeah, all of a sudden,
yeah.
Now a Time Lord who doesn't have human emotions wants to have sex with Conrad. What's that? What the fuck was that? Even Missy said, we're not animals. We're not human beings. We're not animals. We're of a high society Time Lords. We don't think about sex. So, what the fuck was that? I could put shit on your fucking ass. I could put a plate of pears on your ass and eat off of it. Like, what are you talking about?
But if you remember, when she was talking about popping with the human DNA, she was like, oh, no. And then she wanted to go and have it with Conrad. He's like, what?
You had the Ronnie talking to Mel, and Mel should have punched her in the fucking mouth.
Should have gone up to her and punched her, yeah.
You should have had something with Mel and Ronnie, right? You should have fucking had that, right? Oh, God. And that was lovely when they had banter with each other. But you just missed that fucking boat. You missed that fucking opportunity because you want to focus so much on the new people that you didn't focus on the classic series people. You should have just did that, Russell. And same thing to Susan. Thank you for stopping by. Bye-bye. Thank you, Susan. Bye. What was that?
Yeah, but that was because they didn't know that Shooty was going to fuck off. So they basically had to cut her bits and then go a different direction.
No.
That was the only reason why that didn't play out.
Well, according to
The whole
Marty,
situation was a mess.
according to Marty, Susan only filmed them parts,
The whole situation was a mess.
didn't she?
I don't know, Ray. I
mean,
think that
it
Marty
is-
was correct when he said that that's all she filmed, because the leak stuff was bullshit about them planting a tree and grandfather, we planted the tree, grandfather. No, that's never been filmed. That was bullshit.
No, they do say that the original ending was if you saw that photo with Shooty
The
and
original
in the
ending,
party.
the original ending was them celebrating the doctor's birthday in a club.
Yeah,
The Lynx was a DJ, and that he was going to go off for whatever was going to happen in the episode, and season 3, and that's it. No regeneration.
yeah.
No
And
Poppy.
they
no
said that-
bullshit.
Yeah, but they said before the end of that episode, you would have seen Susan in the crowd watching the Doctor enjoy himself and everything in the crowd with Poppy in her arm. Basically, that's what they said. That was the original ending.
Which
With
made
Susan
no
with
sense, 'cause
Poppy
we
in
don't
her
know
arm.
who Poppy is. We don't know who Poppy is.
Well, we would have found out in season 3 probably if that was the case. But because they had to change it and reshoot stuff, it didn't go that way.
I still say it's a disgrace. It should have never happened that way. He should have been able to do
Yeah,
season 3
yeah, I
like
agree.
every actor. And it will always go down in history as a disgrace. Always. What's up, SNES?
And he was just he was just getting his stride as well. Shooty was getting stronger and stronger as a Doctor in the
Yes.
season, better and better.
He was.
And all of a sudden,
Mel was great.
here I'm out.
Well, we were
Yeah,
just trying to
it's a
understand his Doctor, weren't we? And then it's like, nope.
It's a shame. But you know what though too? I'm sorry, but my reaction was true. There was no acting. It was pure fucking anger that they chose Billy Piper.
Oh, yeah.
That was,
I don't understand that. I don't.
that
I
was
think that's a
pure-
ridiculous move.
Listen, you even have people that supported Russell that basically said that was bullshit.
Hmm.
That's bullshit.
Yeah,
It's bullshit.
they should have just ended it out. They
It's
should have just
bullshit.
ended it with a blackout. They should have blacked it
They
out.
they
At the point
couldn't
of
do
what-
that. No, they couldn't do that
Why couldn't they do that?
because that Doctor Who was damaged so much lately. Not that it's damaged the way these doom and gloomers are saying that's getting canceled, but Doctor Who was damaged enough
Mhm.
that could have killed the show. That could have killed the show.
A lot of people
Because
think
there would have
that-
been nothing to hook us for it to continue because you never saw a face.
Hmm.
So now at least with a face, you'd be like, what the fuck? Why is Billy Piper the Doctor? And everybody's talking for the
Yeah,
next
but,
fucking year or
but
two.
that's just Russell trying to go. I need to keep the show going, so I'm going to put in a stunt gimmick just so people will come
He
back
should
next
have put
time
a different. He
we're
should have
filming.
put somebody else in there, but he didn't have time, and he just whatever. He should have just did something else.
And not only that, he was so
Yeah.
desperate to write for a female Doctor.
Nobody
as well.
wants. Look, everybody loves Billy Piper. Nobody wants to see her as a doctor. It wouldn't make no fucking sense. I
No.
know Crystal Eccleston said it, but that's just fucking stunt
Yeah.
casting.
Yeah.
That's just manipulative of ratings. That's just like the Interstellar Song
Let's-
Contest with the manipulation of ratings.
But
Like
he just
you're scheming now. You're scheming.
he just wanted a female Doctor so bad that this is the way he's
No,
going.
but that wasn't that. Are you scheming?
Well, yeah,
Scheming.
you could have still had a female Doctor, but not Billy Piper, because that confuses
But
people now.
it wouldn't
going
have
forward.
drawn the interest that he needed the shock value. I don't agree with it.
I know.
Well, after the shit,
No, I don't agree. I know. It would've been- someone said that. Someone on Twitter said, and I saw it last time when we finished the car. Someone said, "You talk about Alex Kingston as the next Doctor, then that would have really messed up the fans." I'm like, what?
You know what it is? I worry
Yeah.
now because I'm like, I'm of the mindset now that after this stunt casting, there's always going to be something like this, and I'm turned off.
Yeah.
I don't want this, Doctor. I
Yeah.
don't want this bullshit, like
I'm-
gimmicks. Like I really feel this is bullshit.
So what are we going to get for the 17th Doctor? Arthur Darvill?
unless
I
as
don't
people
know.
say, are saying,
You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean. It's like it's only another can of worms with former companions. Whoever can be the former Lunar Doctor, you know. Oh, hang on.
maybe she's maybe she is just a placeholder until they can find another person to play the Doctor. She's just a little gap in between that regeneration into the next. So she's playing some sort of TARDIS energy and not actually the Doctor. Because she's not she can't be the Doctor. So she's just an in between break, like a Watcher sort of thing, before the next Doctor comes along.
Ray, if you got to turn your camera off, or Philip, if somebody's talking to you, you can do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to go.
Well,
Ray.
I've got to turn my camera off.
Mm.
No, I
No,
said if somebody.
no, I'm fine.
Oh, somebody was talking to somebody. Was it you, Ray, or is it?
Yeah, just my mum just checking on me.
Oh, okay. Do what you got to do. You got to do. It's fine.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, like I said, she's a placeholder, like everybody's saying. So to bridge the gap between Shooty gone and someone else coming in. So and they haven't found someone else yet. So they're just putting her there for the meantime until the new one's announced. That's what I think.
I'd like it. I'd like it like Joe said it about Romana. She actually changes her face straight away and it goes into someone else.
But I just.
That's a good idea.
I don't know that for sure.
No, I know. I said that's why I said I like your idea. I didn't say it's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I just,
Yeah.
you know,
Because
what
it
it is,
seems kind of.
I'm trying. I'm trying so hard because, everybody wants to do Whovians, and I'm kind of against the whole situation, and I still don't want to watch it, but then I do. It's like, I just, could we fucking explain something for once?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plot out.
It's just messed up that it's a form. It's like he's the love of his life.
Could we fucking because here's the thing: we can never do a podcast ever again if there's always going to be a magic wand that's going to solve it. I want the scientific explanation. I want the gods out of the picture. Could we just fucking explain shit for once?
Yeah.
For once, is that so hard? Could we fucking just explain shit in Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Like a good explanation.
And he put too much. He put too much. He put too much into this episode anyway. There was too much strands, too many strings in it. There was no way he was going to solve it. No way.
Just explain shit. That's all, Russell.
Connor.
Right, Connor? Right, Connor? Just explain shit. Why can't they just explain shit, Connor? Just explain shit.
Because, I mean, it's like I said, it's all written for shocks and social media and TikTok. All of them. It's not written as. It's not supposed to be written now as a coherent show that's got good stories.
Yeah.
It's a vehicle for, as I said earlier on this cast, just kind of spreading a message of, whatever RTD fancies banging on about at that moment in time.
Yeah.
I just want it where we start a series and it's like actually for flows like so he goes on an adventure like episode 1 and in episode 2 he references it. He's ever got like episode 1 and then he doesn't reference it for like 4 or 5 episodes.
Do you know what's ridiculous? I watched a 15-second clip of when what's her name with a Y from Parting of the Ways. What's her name?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Linda with a Y. Linda with a Y.
Yeah.
Like that whole scene of when the Dalek fleet start to attack Satellite 5.
Yeah.
And you watch that, and then you watch what comes out of Doctor Who consistently now. It's a different show.
Yeah.
It's not the same show.
I like that scene too.
No, it's not.
The Daleks couldn't say exterminate, and you just saw the lights, meaning they were talking, and they fucking killed her.
Yeah,
that was great. That was
like
fucking
you
great.
don't.
Yeah, that was a good one. No, you don't. It's
and
all.
Then you realise, oh shit, it's exactly the same writer. So what's changed? Silly. It's awful. It really is. It's
I mean, there's things sometimes in life that we go through that affects our writing, right? So, like I was telling you, Connor, and I'm not trying to be controversial, but was it because he lost his husband that he changed his writing stuff?
No, because I would argue that RTD has written some of his best stuff in the last couple of years. I think that he has just forced himself to be too different. If he came back and said, "I'm back, guys. I'm going to do Doctor Who the way it was in 2005 to 2008," no one would have said, "Oh, what a dick! He's coming back and he's doing exactly the same thing." Like, "Oh, we're going to hate it." Everyone would be like, "Oh shit, we're back in the golden era." Instead,
Well, we
he's
thought
come
that
back and said,
that was going to happen.
"Oh,
We thought that was going to be the golden era.
I'm gonna write it for 2023, 2024, and 2025. It's going to be so hip and happening," and it just doesn't work. He should have written it as he did in his first era.
Well, let's face facts. Regardless of us not agreeing, like, yes, I supported Russell the biggest way possible, and then I'm kind of turned off now, but I'm still supporting the show. And regardless of the ratings, regardless of what doom and gloom people are saying, they're making a lot of money with the movie theaters, and they're making a lot of money. So it's not where it's any type of profit that's going to cancel the show, period, because it's going to continue on Disney Plus. So couldn't he just look at this and look at what everybody's saying and saying, "All right, I'm going to change it now, and I'm going to
but
like."
you know the fact that everybody went to the cinema to watch it. Do you feel like shortchanged and swindled by what he put out? You went all you spent all that money just to go and see it at the cinema. You had to be swindled out of a.
If they put it in the theaters in America, I would have liked to see it.
I mean,
if I could.
I've spoken to a couple of people that I know that went to see Wish World and Reality War at the cinema, and I think even Mr. TARDIS, because he went to go see it at the cinema as well, and he's kind of alluded
He went
to it
twice.
as well. There was a genuinely good reaction to all the moments where there needed to be a reaction. So when Omega appeared, when Billy appeared at the end, when Shooty started to generate, when Jodie appeared, all of them moments hit really well with the audience.
The audience,
but in general, like, so he did his job in that respect, but in general, no one liked the episode as a whole.
Well, if you think about it,
it made no sense.
No, if you think about it, well, Connor, Doctor Who's Twitter today put out the spoilers of people in the cinema reacting.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those.
So
I've seen a lot.
I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I could get why Disney Plus is waiting 28 days to get the full ratings in. I just feel that they shouldn't. I just feel look. You're part of the problem with us losing Shooty is because you're making them wait. So going forward, if they're going to still be with Disney Plus, then the BBC has to implement a contract with Disney Plus that they can't hold the show hostage, waiting for a fucking decision like that. If BBC want to film Doctor Who episodes while under contract with Disney Plus, that they're allowed to do that, because what's happening now is that anytime Doctor Who is off the air, it damages the show for any length of time. And Russell, you cannot. Russell said it in 2023. You have to have a Christmas special every year. Every year. I don't care if it's good or not. You need to have that presence where Doctor Who will always be on every year. Even if you don't get a fucking season, you need a Christmas special every year. I agree with that. So you can never say that it's been more than a year that Doctor was on.
Yeah. But hang on. Doesn't the American rating matter as well? We don't even know on our side how the American ratings were for Doctor Who. They won't tell us anything. So that doesn't. So that tells me
don't tell us
if they're not going to put it
don't
out.
Tell us either.
So then, how do we know how successful it was in America?
You're looking at it in a wrong perspective. You're thinking because America, Disney Plus is hiding it that it's doing bad. They hide all their ratings from all their shows. No streaming service reveals
Why?
their ratings because they're dicks. They're all
No,
assholes.
I don't
They're all
know.
dicks.
Because if you think about it, Philip, all the popular shows that Netflix stream, for example, they've been
Because the
cutting
moment
and
that
saying
they
that they've been
reveal,
cutting.
listen,
You know.
listen, they've been trying to control the narrative for decades. Now they're in a position, all these streaming services, where if they don't reveal it, then they don't get criticized. Then people can't say, well, I saw the ratings. This should be canceled. They don't want that. They don't want to be questioned. Disney Plus does not want people making videos about them talking shit. So now, same thing like Netflix. They're not going to tell you if it's a success or not. They're just going to say if it's canceled or not. You're never going to know why. So
No.
they're not going to tell you if Doctor Who is a success unless it is a success, but they'll never tell you how much of a success it is. They don't want you knowing
Fair enough.
how they get the ratings or what. They
Well,
never want to do that
because
anymore. They don't want to have anybody have power over their company.
Because that tells me then that if they're not willing to show you how well it's been doing, that's why they're dragging their feet on renewing it because it's not done well for them. That's what makes me think that that's why they pulled out because it's not doing well.
Star Trek Discovery sucked ass, right? And they controlled the narrative where they gave it a second season before the first episode aired. They gave a third season before the fucking first season finished. And it went on for years, and it should have never been on TV. Star Trek Discovery should have never been on for years. And people got it wrong like it's a success. It's not a success. It's a failure that was given years worth of stuff to remain a failure, but created this image that was a success. It wasn't. It was just rich people making a shitty show forever.
Yeah. Hang on, I've lost you because I'm mucking about on that stupid phone. Oh, where are you?
But it's just a point that you never know what's a success or not. Discovery sucked completely. And it got seasons, right, Connor? Seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, but most people that I've seen online say that it wasn't the best. I think it was
and we tried.
Was it? What was the other spin-off called?
Picard.
No, not Picard. The other one. Below
Decks.
Apparently that
Lower
was
Decks.
Yeah, Below Decks. Apparently that was the best of the lot.
Below Decks. I'm sorry, Below Decks. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently that was the best of the lot. So,
but the whole thing with Picard season 1 and season 2 sucked. The moment they put the Next Generation back, it was the most successful fucking goddamn series in history.
Right? It's like Disney Plus with the Star Wars spin-offs. They've been sucking, haven't they?
It was basically Star Trek: The Next Generation season 8. That's what it was, and everybody loved Picard season 3. Even Nerdrotic, everybody.
So, I mean, if you want to know how to write great TV, like recently in a franchise, just look at Andor. It's not.
I know
it's
Hayden's
not just
trying to get me to watch that.
Oh, you have to. It's not just the best Star Wars.
Oh shit! Wait a minute, Connor.
Yes,
he's back.
Oh, Doc.
Oh wait, why can't I get him in here? They would need to connect their mic before you could add them. Oh, Doc, could you connect your headphones to your phone?
You have to watch Andor. It's like the best TV of the year.
Could you connect your headphones to your phone, or else I can't add you?
Episode 7 to 9 of Andor, because it's 12 episodes. They know how to do it right. Is peak Star Wars.
At least they've got 12 episodes. Doctor Who has 8.
See, I can't. I'm old school, and I'm like, how can I get busy with it if I know he's gonna die?
Well, Andor.
Yeah.
The whole story is just fucking fantastic. It's ridiculous how well they've managed to do that story about a character that no one gave a shit about. Tony Gilroy needs to take over Lucasfilm because he fucking knows what Star Wars is about.
Fez man just said what you said. Look, Tony Gilroy for next showrunner.
Old Doc, if you put the headphones on to your phone, like then you could come in. It won't allow me to put you in unless we could hear you. Just like get your phone, put the headphones in, and just like I got like this with the laptop. I'm sure you got headphones.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I'm doing. I'm on my.
Hold on.
Yeah, because I'm on my phone. I'm on my phone with my Bluetooth headphones connected to the phone. So
someone say
that's how I've done
he
it.
just in a private chat message.
What?
He just said something in a private chat. So look.
I don't know how. I can't read it. I don't know. I can't see it. Okay, my eyesight's really bad. I don't know how to do this anymore. It says my mic and camera are blocked by my browser settings, and I don't know how to access that. So basically, Chrome has blocked these mic and camera. I can't remember how I used to do it.
So don't you just delete Chrome and then put it back on?
I mean, there should be usually you get a pop-up.
Oh, I know why. Old Doc. So if you don't update Google Chrome, right? Sometimes we run out of memory. So what I do is I delete the app, and then I go to the App Store and I put the app back on, and it's the newest version of Chrome.
He says I don't have any. Yeah, he doesn't have any headphones.
But even if he didn't have headphones, there's a mic on here. Wouldn't that work?
Yeah, I mean the phone should still pick up if he's using.
So, Old Doc, this is what you do. You have apps on your phone, right? Do you have an iPhone or you have an Android? Okay, so go on to delete the app, and then go to the App Store and re-upload the app, and then you should be able to. It should be able to work because you probably got to update everything. That happens with me. Like YouTube goes down and there's an update, and I don't know about it.
Well, it's like you when you got you got to do videos. You got uninstall everything, ain't you?
Well, that's why I got people yelling at me because I'm missing birthdays on Facebook. Louis yelling at me because I didn't put Instagram back on, and then there was like a whole bunch of shit going on. So yes, I.
He said he'll try again another time. It's been so long. Yeah,
I gotta get a new phone. I'm well aware. I know.
Yeah. Old Doc said he'll try again another time.
Oh, all right. Well, at least we almost got him. Oh wait. Oh no, I thought he was still there. All right. So Old Doc, thank you. We'll try again somehow.
Yeah, we'll try again, Old Doc.
I appreciate you trying to come in. That's the thing. It's like I'm feeling like old school. Like having everybody back doing podcasts. And yes, I'm probably going to be destroying my gaming right now, but I really don't care because I'm having fun with my bros in my podcast. So I have sent invites. Well, Philip Archer came.
I will say about. Yeah, I will say the best. I did like Shooty Through Generation scene though. I thought that was really good. It was very touching, and it was kind of sad because the way he was talking during that regeneration, I was like, oh, he really didn't want to go anywhere, man. He's just so upset that he had to go. I felt it.
Does it damn shame we done it in front of Joy instead of Susan?
Yeah. If it does come back, it's going to be like, what, 2? It'll be back, 2 years from now.
We'll go back to what we were saying. The perfect thing, the perfect solution would be for Disney Plus, if they're not going to make an announcement, let them do the Christmas special. So that way, we can say the last time Doctor was on was December 25th, 2000.
Well, I wasn't really paying
attention. They don't.
I was at work.
Wait, what?
A Christmas special with who?
Wait, hold on.
Sorry, go.
I was just going to say I wasn't paying much attention because I was at work at the time. But didn't Marty say something about Stephen Moffat's doing a Christmas special
Yes,
this year.
I heard the same thing that they I think they're both writing it, Russell and Moffat.
Yeah, but with who though? Because the issue he's got, who's going to be in his Christmas special?
Does it matter though? As long as we get a doctor, who gives a fuck?
What? Yeah, true, but you need a lead actor for Christmas special.
All right,
And if
all right, so then get
if it is Piper,
no, it shouldn't be. Just skip and say the beginning of the fucking episode. Here is an untold tale of Doctor Who or something, and then fucking Peter Capaldi is going to rescue Nardole or some shit or whatever. Like, do something.
I see what you're saying. That could work. That could work.
That could work. It doesn't have to be the greatest plot ever. It's a Christmas.
How many times have you heard the Doctor say to everyone in his community, "Oh, did you see when we went to Barcelona, or when we went there?" Do something like that. Like, just say, and then tell
Listen,
the
it's a Christmas special. It's the holiday season.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. It doesn't have to be, I'm saving the universe. Do a fucking episode with Matt Smith and just be a doctor. Who cares? Karen Gillan off the double. Why can't it be an untold tale?
Do they have enough time to do that, though?
Why can't the Christmas trend? This is what they're doing wrong, right? Forget about trying to make the Christmas special, right? Yes, it's Christmas time, right? You don't need the biggest plot. You don't need. Look, we want to see the Doctor. We want to see a Christmas special. It doesn't. It could be a fucking thing we never seen before. It doesn't have to make. Look, you see Matt Smith, Karen Gillan, Arthur Darvill, River Song. They're fighting somebody. It's Christmas, and then it goes back, and this episode takes place between this and this. That's perfect. Who cares? You got to see Doctor Who on Christmas. Why does it have to be the universe is going to blow up? Or oh my God! Like, what's the theatrics? It's Christmas. Do something. Get Paul McGann. Boom. Like, it's a Christmas special. Like, if you're worried about ratings, then all right. David Tennant is with Martha Jones now, or whatever. Like, I mean, who cares? Jodie Whittaker is fucking with Peter Capaldi. Who cares?
Where are we now? June. Is there enough time? Is there enough space to make a Christmas special from here?
5 weeks it takes to film, right? And then how many weeks it takes for special effects? All right, so do a fucking episode where you don't need crazy special effects. Well, I mean, the greatest episodes ever sometimes work without special effects, like Midnight. Like, can't we do a Dalek story? Would it fucking hurt to do a Dalek story?
They can probably get a Christmas special out in about 2 months.
Yeah.
It takes about 4 weeks to do an episode filming, and then you've got post-production, which will take about... Actually, I'll be generous and say that they're aiming for the best possible quality products that they can get. So I would say maybe about 2 months and a half.
Didn't David Tennant, after he filmed his first Regeneration that time, didn't he film like Sarah Jane Adventures like weeks after he left? Yes.
Oh, look. Well, the wedding of Sarah Jane. Yeah, I would have thought so.
Weeks after he left. So why is there rules? Okay, yes, Ncuti Gatwa is going to be doing roles, right? But even though he left, why couldn't we just have why couldn't they just do an Untold Tale with Ncuti Gatwa and do a Christmas special?
Because
like, why is it happening? But who cares?
No, I agree with you. Like, who really cares? But at the same time,
but who measures why? First of all, it makes no sense. Billy Piper's the Doctor, so that's everything's out the window as far as I'm concerned.
But you don't want to lose.
Fuck cares?
Yeah, but
you also don't want to lose your.
Yeah, but we don't know. She's not the Doctor.
Lose your audience.
She's not the Doctor, though.
You did lose your audience. That pissed people off.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. Like, a good showrunner wouldn't make a bad situation worse.
He already did.
I mean, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. I feel like in some respects, RTD hasn't been the best choice to be showrunner since he came back.
Yeah, he's a bit too egotistical right now.
Okay, how about this? How about a suggestion then? How about, because I'm sorry, I'm biased, but Ruby Sunday just got a Barbie doll, right? How about you do a Dr. Light Christmas special with Ruby Sunday.
No, that's not going to work for me.
Why?
That
Why?
won't. That won't. It wouldn't work.
Haven't
I'll be bored within 5. I'll be bored, mate. I'm sorry, no. I want to see the Doctor at Christmas.
that is actually boring as fuck. Even I won't watch that.
So why not have
Yeah.
David Tennant with Ruby Sunday?
Because that wouldn't make any sense.
Why? He's around.
It still has to make sense.
Well, how about we
Nothing
have
makes sense.
a story of the 14th Doctor and Rose Noble?
Nothing makes sense.
Yeah, but we've already got that. We already had that with the 3 special.
Doctor Who has gotten to a
We've
point
already-
where nothing makes sense.
No, but at the same time, Joe, that opinion is subjective. You still have to aim for the chronology of the show to be. You can't just have Ncuti Gatwa regenerate into Billy Piper.
The 13th Doctor just appeared. You have no
Then
fucking
the
explanation why.
very next episode, it just suddenly be Ncuti Gatwa again, because like your audience would be like, "What the actual fuck has happened here?"
All right, I guess you're right.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like you don't want to make, as I said, a bad situation worse. And not
But they're
saying
not-
it's a bad situation that we're in, but
Yeah,
you
I
don't want
guess.
to be intentionally confusing just because, like, getting Ncuti Gatwa in there for a Christmas special would be great, or it would be easy to film because he's free.
Well, why
Yeah.
couldn't you say, Connor? Why couldn't you say that he wakes up and the regeneration energy was stopped because of Bad Wolf emerging?
Well, that
David
is an
Tennant-
idea, but it's a bit
David
far fetched.
Tennant's regenerating, right? David Tennant's regenerating, right? And he takes the energy
Yeah.
and he puts it in the hands, right? Right?
Yeah.
And then he keeps his form, right? So Ncuti Gatwa was about to regenerate, the 15th Doctor is about to regenerate, and the TARDIS was dead, and then all of a sudden it shot the Bad Wolf entity to where Ncuti Gatwa was Doctor, and Ncuti Gatwa appears someone else. The regeneration energy heals him, but it stops him from changing his form. He's still the Doctor, but you see him
The
somewhere
problem
else.
is with that. The problem with that, he's already signed goodbye. No, he's done his bit. He's gone already, mate.
I know.
He's gone already. He's not going to come back
I
for
know.
that.
I'd love that, but I know the other stuff thing is if you do that, everyone on Twitter will be like, "Oh, he's back," and then he'll get everyone be like, and then when he's not back, it's like,
So you're saying we have to have the Christmas special with the current Doctor?
well, or we could have a Christmas special with a master.
No, you can't.
It doesn't have to always be
It
with a
would have
current
to
Doctor.
be 14. Okay, it would have to be a Doctor, like 14th Doctor, and John Sim battling again. That would be.
Or even it could be even a classic Doctor for all we. You could have
I
anybody.
mean,
say,
Happiness Patrol
in
sequel
the
with the Candyman and 7th Doctor. Why not?
Or Paul McGann, going back to visit Grace.
Why do we? I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah, you could have
Didn't he introduce Connor? Didn't he introduce the fucking memory TARDIS so we could bring past Doctors back?
Yeah, he did.
And didn't he say in an interview he would love to do a Sylvester McCoy episode? I heard him say that.
I don't
why
remember
can't
him
he just-
saying that, but it wouldn't
I
surprise me.
heard him flat out say that. So why can't he just do a classic Doctor story?
Again, it's like having two Spider-Men in one universe.
We do.
Like-
Miles Morales
Mhm.
and we had 3 at one point. We had Miles Morales in Brooklyn and we had Peter Parker in New York.
Would you not find it an absolute mindfuck if you had in the MCU a film trilogy with Tobey Maguire, a film trilogy with Andrew Garfield, and a film trilogy with Tom Holland going on all at the same time?
No, I'd be fine with it. And so would everybody else in the world. Because you know what? That's the problem. That's the problem, is that they think that it's better to do Craven the movie and Morbius the movie and the Rhino and his mom movie and fucking Black Widow movie. And they think they know what the fans want. But yet, when they did put Tom Holland Spider-Man, with Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, it was the biggest fucking Spider-Man money-making movie in history. So, like, what does that tell you? That the audience is smart enough, where you know now with the TVA and alternate realities, you had Deadpool and Wolverine was the most fucking successful thing ever. That's what they want. So here you go. Here is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movie. 4 months later or 6 months later, here's Andrew Garfield's movie. 6 months later, here's here's Tom Holland. We would want that. And that's what he modeled the universe after, is because he wanted to create a universe like the MCU. What are they doing in Secret Wars? They're having multiple different versions of those characters fight each other. This is what people want. So yes, it may be madness, but if you mean to tell me that as a Spider-Man fan, you would not go and see Sam Raimi write and direct a Spider-Man movie with fucking Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, and a new villain or whatever with fucking J. Jonah Jameson, what's his name?
J.K. Simmons.
Right. If you mean to tell me that came out, let's say in the summer this year, and the advertiser and everything, you wouldn't go see it?
Oh no, I absolutely would.
100% you would go see it. And that's the way they got to think. They got to be like, oh, people go see it. Let's do it. But if you ask anybody who's Madam Web, 75% don't know who the fuck she is.
I mean, if
like
if they came out tomorrow and said, we're going to reboot Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
I'm not saying reboot. No. Not reboot. Continuation.
No, not reboot, but he's going to get a new trilogy that's going to be better than the last one. I would be like, fuck yeah, take my money, because Andrew Garfield is a fantastic actor.
Thank you.
And he deserves better than what he got.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And if Russell said, hey, Christopher Eccleston, I am sorry, here's $2 million. Could you do a Christmas special with Billie Piper? And you're the doctor, and her memory is skewed. She's Bad Wolf, but you have to get her to this point. It's a Dalek story, and you find out that you got to search for the real doctor, and she's Bad Wolf. Would you do it? Yes. Would anybody see that?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, Russell.
I don't know.
There you go, Russell.
I don't know.
You don't know what to do with the doctor? She's Bad Wolf. And there's Christopher Eccleston, and he looks a little older because whatever time you want me. There you go. There's your Christmas special. Guarantee you put Christopher Eccleston as the Ninth Doctor and Billie Piper as Bad Wolf entity battling the Daleks. I guarantee you that will be the fucking most ridiculous ratings in history. You want to manipulate the ratings, gimmick-wise? Go ahead. Do it. I guarantee you. The problem
with all that is the fact that Christopher Eccleston is quite stubborn. Once he says sack this person, sack that person, he's not gonna kowtow to them with no money.
Fine. Then you do David Tennant, Martha Jones, John Sim, Kylie Minogue, whatever, and you do it. Go. Why not? He's there. He's the doctor. He's there. Use him.
Yeah, but how many times are we gonna?
What?
How many times are we gonna roll out David Tennant?
But he's not.
Overdone with David
Tennant. The point is,
he's as much the Doctor as Shooty Gabba was. He's there. He's the Doctor.
He's technically still a full ink.
Because of bi-generation, right? He's the Doctor.
Yes.
And Shooty was the Doctor, right? And even if Billie Piper's here, he's still the Doctor. And if he regenerates, he's still the Doctor, or somebody else is considered the Doctor. There are two Doctors.
But it's
permanent.
Yeah, but it's a tired, lazy move. It's a tired, lazy move. I wouldn't want to see David Tennant again. I don't care. I don't want to see him again.
But the reason why David Tennant's in the background is the backup plan. Russell had put him in the background.
Yes,
backup plan. So use him as a backup plan. Is it going to hurt?
Then you're not going to get anybody on it. Then people are just not going to be interested.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it going to hurt to, like, you have nobody for the Christmas special? Is it going to hurt that we have a 14th Doctor adventure?
Why would it hurt anything?
I know he would. I'm not saying he could, but he could unwrite that this is the thing where he goes with anything, gets killed.
But he doesn't get killed. We made that up, Russell,
Yeah.
because he don't want to answer questions about the 14th Doctor. He doesn't get killed. And first of all, if he was the Doctor all the time, why would he get killed now? He never got fucking killed. He's going to regenerate. He could regenerate. Just like Mrs. Flood could still regenerate. Even though she acted like a servant, she wasn't a servant. Like, she was the Rani also.
Yeah, but this blood regeneration thing is nonsense. It just doesn't make any
It doesn't
sense.
have to. Who cares? Just look. Here's the thing, right? If Russell isn't ready to answer the Billy Piper thing, then get another fucking doctor. What's the problem? I don't see the problem. I really don't. I like. Okay, if Disney Plus said tomorrow, listen, guys, you can make. Here's the money for the Christmas special. We still didn't make a decision yet. Okay, then go. Then go and do it. Like, whatever you're gonna do. What's the problem? There is no problem. Like, if you're allowed to do the Christmas special, and if you're, first of all, here's the thing: don't bullshit us. I don't care what the fucking ratings are. You are doing stuff where you're making extra money off of that finale in the fucking movie theaters. That is income that you've never had before. That is an added profit that you have never had before. It is a success instantly. That's like saying, hey, I'm going to put Frasier in the movie theater, a fucking television show, and the thing makes $30 million, and it's a TV show. This is a TV show. That's like when they re-released, right, Revenge of the Sith for a fucking anniversary. And the thing is making 20, 30, 40 million dollars like 20, 30 years later. And it made more money than fucking Acolyte and everything. And it's like blowing shit out of the water. What does that tell you? Disney made money and they made a success, but they also painted themselves in a fucking picture where that's what people want. Jedi, Sith, Darth Vader. Like, hello? What's wrong with you?
It's like they say, nostalgia sells.
And you know what's funny? They just announced, correct me if I'm wrong, Connor, that they canceled The Mandalorian after season 3.
I think that the film is going to be the end of the...
Right, but they just announced they canceled The Mandalorian, right?
Yeah,
Did they cancel Doctor Who? No. So why is that a bad thing? If you just canceled one of the biggest fucking shit on your fucking channel, but Doctor Who's not canceled, why is that doom and gloom? Why is that bad? If they canceled something you consider a success like The Mandalorian, why is it bad that Doctor Who, there's no announcement yet? Why? Why would that be bad?
No, hold on. Let's get it clear. If they do, they're not cancelling it. They're withdrawing the money to fund Doctor Who. That's all they're doing.
Here we go. Right, politically correct shit. Okay, Disney is not dumping Doctor Who. Dumping. Is that better phrase? Dumping? They're not going to dump Doctor Who.
Well, it depends on if they think it's worthwhile continuing. If it's not making them that much money
in the movie theater, you don't think that there is a thing in the contract that because Disney was giving them money that they didn't make a cut of that movie theater release?
You are acting as if you are acting from the point of view that Disney don't make stupid business decisions. And
no, I'm not.
Okay.
No, Connor. I think you got me confused. Here's the thing. I'm full aware of everything and every decision that Disney Plus is making because I'm a huge Marvel Comics fan. And I know what they're deciding. And on the Everything show, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't I say that this is going to fail? This is going to fail? Didn't I say Captain America, Brave New World is going to fail? Didn't I say Thunderbolts is going to fail and not show a profit? Didn't I say Ironheart's going to fail? Didn't I say that this is a mistake, Secret Invasion? I am fully aware of what mistakes they're making. We also
I would
made
argue
predictions.
that Thunderbolts is a success.
It's not.
Well, we know one thing that's not going to be not. It's going to be Fantastic Four.
What
It's
in terms of
money.
how
It's
much?
not.
How much Thunderbolts? How much has Thunderbolts made on the box office?
They lost 100 million so far.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Critically, it's success though.
But
It's their
they
best.
make-
It's their best film critically in a number of years.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: if you're having failure upon failure upon failure, right? Do you consider it a success? If it's
I
like
mean,
you've had
I
all these
would
failures,
consider,
like
I
I
would
mean-
consider Thunderbolts to be half the battle won by the fact that they actually won the critics back.
but that's irrelevant if you're bleeding. If Disney is bleeding and they're losing money and they're failing, then it doesn't matter. Like, we got the critics back. Fuck the critics. We're losing money. Like, no one's watched. Okay, so here's the thing: you have Echo. Nobody gave a fuck about.
No.
Failure, right? Daredevil, part success, part failure. You want to know why? Because the whole fucking show is not Daredevil.
Yeah.
It should have been called Matt Murdock,
Mhm.
attorney at law. So you kind of deceived your fucking audience there.
Well,
Right.
I think that we're
Yeah.
That's like saying, let's do Aunt May the movie. Are you
To
going to
be
go
fair,
see Aunt May
he's like-
thinking that Spider-Man's going to show
He's
up?
like,
No.
he's like doing Ghost Rider and he's just Johnny Blaze.
To be
Well,
fair,
no.
that Wall Street Journal interview that Feige did, and he pretty much like that is something that RTD would never do. He held his hands up and he said, the TV format didn't work. I did it to appease Bob Chapek at the time.
And he fucked up.
The higher ups wanted Disney Plus shows. I just gave in. He definitely believes, like deep down, that should never have happened. Now he should have.
Yeah,
held
you
his
want to know
ground.
what? You want to know what caused that? Sam Raimi.
Why did
Old
Sam
Doc.
Raimi do that?
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Old Doc. How are you?
Hello. Oh, don't tell me he's gone already.
Hello?
Old Doc, what's up?
Oh man.
Yeah, there you are.
You know, I used to be the editor and everything of the Whovians podcast, and now I don't even know how to turn my phone on.
Jesus. Don't feel bad. I'm having shit going wrong with me myself, but what's going on, bro?
Oh, not much. I had 2 heart attacks. That was fun.
I'm sorry, dude.
Oh my
That's-
God.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Thank God you're still here.
Yeah.
You look good.
Considering. And to answer the
I miss-
question
I miss
from
you,
last
bro.
night, I'm 57 now. So is anybody my age?
I'm 51.
Okay, well, you're 6 years younger than me.
I'm older.
I'm still a kid.
I'm the oldest one here then. I'm the oldest one here then. I'm 6 years here. Fucking hell. I'm 60. Fucking hell. What have I done?
So you're still watching
Right.
Doctor Who?
Huh?
Are you still watching Doctor Who regularly, or
Man, I quit watching Doctor Who when Capaldi left.
shit? But you know what
I said,
happened.
that's it for me. I saw a clip on Neurotic about him turning into Rose, and I said to myself, what must Joe be thinking?
Did you
So
see
I
my
went
video
over
on
and
it?
checked out. Yeah, I went over and checked out your channel and subscribed to it. And you know, if this keeps up, you change the name of the show, the Old Whovians Podcast, because we're getting old.
I know. I'm losing my hair. I'm losing my teeth. I'm losing everything, but I'm still.
Dude, I lost my hair a long time ago. You're
I'm-
still
I'm-
light
I'm-
years ahead of
I'm
me.
still together. I'm still put together with duct tape, I guess. But
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you a little secret. When I was the old doc, that was a wig. Well, you know that. You used to tell me to suit up before every show.
that's right. I was telling these kids stories on how I was the host of the Whovians podcast, and then I didn't want to host it all the time because I wanted to give them a chance to shine. And
Right.
remember, I was saying, "Oh, let Dr. Freedom host one, and let Sammy Carter host one," and then Dr. Freedom went off and did his Omega Files, and then I gave the show to I created Who Harmony for Sammy, and then he did his thing. But then I was still doing the Whovian podcast, remember? And
Yeah.
then that ended, and then I remember I was in my limo for my book signing, and I was like, I'm gonna create the Real Whovians cast, and then I
Yeah.
got everybody together to do that.
Well, if you remember, it started out, you and I created the original Whovians cast because I contacted you and I said we should do a show with a bunch of
The
people.
Whovians podcast. You're the one that
Yeah, the
you
original.
recruited me.
Right.
I didn't think you
well,
were
I
gonna
didn't
recruit me with Young Doc, but it was just you though.
Well, it was just you and me at the start. I contacted you and I contacted Freedom because we all had individual shows. And I got to thinking, I said, this would be more interesting if we all talked to each other. And me and you and Freedom did the first two. And then he freaked out and we replaced him with Mike Shannon. And after like the second episode, I said, I don't like this hosting stuff. So I asked you to be the host. And you took it over then. And like you said, you got tired of hosting all the time. So you tried to spread it out.
I just want
yeah.
people to have a moment to show. I don't want them people to think that I was like a glory hog or I was like hogging the fucking spotlight or it was
No, you know why I asked you to host it when I found out I didn't like it? Because you were the best guy to do it. You were good at it. You were good at it. I said, Joe's, I think you hosted one because I came in later or something like, Joe's better at this than I am, and I don't really like doing it. So I turned it over to you, and then when you tried to get other people to do it, they didn't want to do it, or they'd get up there and they'd get mic fright. And I'm like, Joe, you're the guy that needs to be hosting this thing. And then Mike Shannon wanted to host it, and he got mad. I mean, I think you and I were doing this crap before Neurotic. If we'd kept it up, we could have been as big as him back then or now.
But also, too, the funny thing is you had the rights also to the comic book cast, where that guy that's around now can't be.
Me and Shane. Yeah, me and Shane had the original comic book cast.
And his thing is called Comic Book Cast 2, but he can never be the Comic Book Cast, whatever. Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Is like we also, you're aware too that yes, I wasn't like they tried to create this image of me that I'm a selfish, what's the word? Like I had an ego, all this stuff. That was never the case. Like I always was
you know what it was? I'm going to be honest with you. They were jealous of you because you had a natural talent. You'd get on there and you'd host the thing, and that's why the show started taking off, the old Whovians podcast, when you became the host, because you were good at it, you were charismatic, you were the Johnny Carson of early podcasting. And, these other guys are like, I don't know, these guys they got now. They weren't that good at it.
But that's why they stabbed me all in the back.
Well, yeah, and they got mad at that's what ended the Whovians podcast.
They tried to do the wrong thing off of my dead corpse, but I wasn't dead though. I regenerated.
Well, see, here was the thing. I owned the original Whovians podcast show because I had the what do you call it, the domain, and I put you as the host because I hosted the first two, and I'm like, I don't really like doing this. I'm not a camera person. I'd rather be behind the scenes.
Right.
And you were good at it. And they got jealous, and then they came to me and they said, "Well, how come Matrix Lord's hosting?" I said, "Because Matrix Lord's the best guy." And then they got mad at me, and they didn't want to do the show no more. And that's when Mike started that, whatever his was called. I forget. It's been 100 years ago.
Is that what the puppets you're talking about? Like when he started doing that shit?
No, because I was Pepper.
Right, I remember.
I was Pepper Clown. We started that originally too.
Yes.
And you were, I forget who you were, but you had the one with the top hat.
Puppet Lord, or Jay the Puppet.
Yeah, Puppet Lord. That's right, Puppet Lord.
Where is Puppet Lord?
Yeah, because I'd get on you. I'm like, dude, they're going to know it's you if you call it Puppet Lord.
But that was the point. I want them to know it was me.
Yeah.
It was like,
because we didn't want them to know that the Whovians podcast was related to Pissy's Puppet, whatever.
Right. But we also did the puppet. Well, I did the puppet cast with them on the Horror Channel. The Horror Channel was my first podcast before.
I remember that.
It was the Whovians podcast with your thing, and then it was horror. I tried to do. That was the problem, is that I got turned off because when I tried to do my first podcast, I'm not a tech guy, and the sound came out crap, and that's kind of why I never really. Until the real Whovians, that's when I started. But the Horrorcast got screwed up with that.
Yeah, and then we tried to do comic book cast, and that got screwed up.
Yeah.
And then finally,
people are losing interest at the time too, with all the shit going on in the comic books. At the time there was weird shit going on. Marvel was doing some weird shit, just like they're doing shit now. It makes no sense, but
I did not say that they're still doing it.
It's amazing how.
Yeah, after that, I just quit doing it altogether.
Well, since the pandemic, I stopped. Like I went to a different direction, and I was doing I did my book, and I lost money because I released it the day before the pandemic, and I lost $3,000.
Yeah.
And I never lost money before doing that, so that traumatized me. And then I was doing the gaming thing, and I'm like, well, and I stopped doing the podcast. Like, really? So then my audience changed. I did start making money, but my audience, I wasn't doing Doctor Who stuff, and people were like thinking I'm a food critic then, which I don't want that, obviously. So then when I started doing Doctor Who stuff again, they're like, well, who's this? Like, and they're like, oh, he's big in the Whovian community. He's been around for a long time. He just hasn't been around lately. And that's when like all this shit started happening again, where people come.
You could have been a food critic, didn't you? Remember when you went in the hospital that time because you thought there was something wrong, and you sent us a picture of you laying in a hospital bed eating pizza.
Yeah, but I was putting.
And I was like, geez, this guy can eat anything.
If I didn't explain why I was in the hospital, I thought I did, but I'll explain it again. I was, before I did YouTube, I was doing my books. And when Hurricane Sandy happened, I was able to self-sustain myself with my books, paying for everything. Right? But I did it where I was so energetic, like I put all my energy into the podcast afterwards, but I put all my energy into my brand, the book brand. So I would travel throughout the streets of Manhattan. I would travel to different states. I would walk around, walk. But the problem was I didn't understand that I'm mortal, okay? And I'm carrying a backpack with hardcover books. I'm carrying 30 books, 40 books, 50 books, 8 hours, 12 hours a day. So I pulled all the muscles in my back, in my chest, and I thought I was having a heart attack. And it wasn't to have a heart attack. I pulled these bones. I hurt myself. And I had to heal by not lifting anything, which caused like a hernia, which I still have. And I wasn't able to lift anything. And then that's when I went into the medical field afterwards, but I was doing YouTube around, like, the books came first, but then I was doing YouTube.
Well, I'm right there with you. I got a hernia too. And I've had 2 heart attacks, and believe me, when you have one, you're having it.
Well, I unfortunately I'm not as healthy as I was, but it's not because of what people are saying on the internet, obviously.
I don't know what they're saying because I don't have social media.
I tried to clarify it. People tried to make it that, because I guess they're doctors, but they're not. Oh, he's eating anything, and that's why. No, it's because I got let go from my job, and I put off. The way I am. I'm a workaholic. Just like anything I do, I'll put 100% into the books. I'll put 100% into the podcast. I'll put 100% or beyond 100%, right? Where I will wind up in a hospital because of lifting, right? So I was always like, oh, you're calling out. I'll come in for you. I'll come in for you. I'll come. So even, remember how I said I always go to the movies on the weekends?
Yeah.
I couldn't be going to the movies because I'm working on the weekends. And it just got to be a thing where things started to change, and I had the best medical and dental, and I was supposed to get all this work done on the teeth. Now, at the time, my body had the reverse of diabetes, where it depended on sugar, and my doctor is like, don't let them put you on metformin. You're not diabetic. You could die from that. You're crazy, and you need sugar. So don't, like, you have this rare thing. It's like under 10%, where there's no such bad thing as sugar. You need sugar constantly, right? So, okay, so that destroys the teeth. Sugar destroys the teeth. So my dentist is like, look, just get dentures. And I'm like, no, I want implants. He's like, that's going to be the most expensive thing ever. I'm like, I don't fucking care. So then I'm like, I want root canals. It's going to be $40,000. It's going to be $50,000. It's going to be constant maintenance. I don't care. Okay. So I had all this stuff approved, all these surgeries approved, root canals, this, that, bridges, everything. I got let go. And I got screwed. I was too loyal, whatever. I got let go because my company, CVS, at the time, basically was trying to fire people just to cut payroll. And they don't want full-time workers. They tried to replace everybody with part-timers or whatever. So I fought it for 2 months. I won. And I proved they were full of shit. But they said, but you signed the contract. And what's a contract? You work for, it was like some type of term where they could fire at will. And it doesn't matter. And I can never fight it legally. So no unemployment, no nothing. So purely living off of my YouTube now. And Sharon's working too. So that's what happened. And my teeth started, I got an infection because of it was eroding. And they were concerned that the infection would go to my heart and kill me. Right? That's a serious thing. You could die from your teeth. And the teeth started falling out. I had no coverage, no nothing. Then I'm trying to get new coverage. Then the dentists are dumping me from this coverage. Then I get to a situation where I'm having toothaches. I'm having problems. I go to get my teeth out. They're like, we can't take the teeth out. And I'm like, why? Because you won't survive the operation. I'm like, what do you mean? The infection's so bad, you won't wake up. So now I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ now, right? Now what do we got to do? All right, you got to be on heavy antibiotics, and we got to fix this problem. And then when the infection's clear, then we could do it. Well, the antibiotics destroyed my stomach, where now it's not normal. And it's damaged. And I've caused damage to my body to cure one thing. So now I'm suffering a lot. And then when I went to get my teeth done and I went to get a new dentist, they dropped my coverage. And then they did x-rays. And now I have to wait a year for another x-rays. They won't get so I'm stuck with this problem with the teeth, right? Now the infection's coming back with the teeth. That's causing a whole bunch of problems. Now they want me also, did your heart get damaged? So this thing caused a whole bunch of mess besides the new test that I went to that said that they gave me bad news. Okay. And didn't take the news too well. They didn't really tell me the thing appropriately, and it made me go crazy in behind the scenes where I'm thinking I was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm making videos, goodbye to my kids, goodbye to Sharon and everything else, because I'm so fucked up because I just couldn't handle them telling me my life expectancy went down severely. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, bullshit. And they're like, it can't be fixed. I'm like, bullshit. And it was like a whole thing. So, and that's why I'm like doing the real Whovians, and I'm feeling like it's going to be over, and I'm crying like an idiot because I'm just emotional because I don't like it, the things I can't, so I said, fuck that. I don't believe things. I'm going second opinions, and I'm like a pincushion now. So I'm going for all these different tests, experiments, this, that, trying to find a way that outcome doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying this. I don't want nobody feeling sorry for me. I don't want nobody feeling whatever. I'm doing everything I can. Oh, and then for some reason, I was kind of semi-cured of the sugar dependency, where it only happens now it's going to happen if I'm doing a podcast for 3 hours and not eating, and I have to have a small meal. So I'm still have the little bit, but it's not like before where my body constantly required sugar. But now I have new problems that I'm not going to get into that is severe. Then I'm that was the people online. They're like, he's a fat piece of shit. I'm fucking super thin. You don't know it, but I'm not going to show you my fucking stomach. And they see me. They don't understand. They see me eat a donut less, and they're like, oh, whatever. I'll eat the donut, like a piece or two, and then I'll throw it out because I'm reviewing it. But that's it. I don't need to finish it. So they're thinking, oh my God, he's eating donuts. He's eating pizza all the time. He's eating this. He's eating that. No. So they're skewed with the perception of reality. Oh, he's having so much sugar, he's gonna die, and this is why he's unhealthy. No, that's not the case at all. So that's
who's
where I'm
saying
at
that?
now.
The audience?
Not our audience, not the fans, the enemies.
Well, who cares? I mean, don't worry about them. Worry about yourself, man. Worry about your own health.
I know it's not that. And I'm not going to really get into it because I know we don't want to get into it. But it's the fact that people that don't know me, people are shallow in the world, and they'll believe people without the benefit of the doubt.
Doesn't matter, man. Do your show, live your life. Don't worry about it.
It matters where I have someone in the background that has been flagging all my videos, and this is my only source of income, and they're trying to destroy my only source of income because it's a different story now. Now, if I lose my income, that's it, and then I'm having serious problems. This is paying for shit, obviously, right? There's a reason why I'm able to fucking spend tons of money on video games in the gaming venture. It's because YouTube's paying for it, donations are paying for it, this is paying for it. Someone in the background trying to destroy all my income, that's because of Doctor Who news. That's ridiculous. And yes, I apologize. Sometimes it's too much for me where I can't take being trolled every single day, and I open my mouth and then I go too far. And Philip is right. I'm a human being. I'm going to work on it. And I promise I'm going to work on it. And we'll talk about Doctor Who and the real Whovians, but this is happening in the background. There is people that are trying to destroy me because they're jealous. And the same guy that mentions me is making money off it.
You mean they pay you to make videos now?
I get paid by YouTube.
Well, they didn't do that in our day. We didn't get no money.
After I made money, I made money on my channel. I made money.
Yeah, but when we were doing the Whovians podcast, there wasn't no pay for that. We were just doing it for fun. I wished I'd have known. I'd have stuck with it.
I made money. It wasn't big money, but I made money on the side doing stuff, and I threw towards the books and everything. But it wasn't. But like, that's the thing is like, look at the way when I did YouTube, right? Before I was even with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was a nut. I was putting up 10 videos, 15 new videos a day on Doctor Who theories. I flooded YouTube, where today on June 2nd, I have 15,000 videos on this channel. And that's this channel. That's not Matrix Lloyd 2 and 2, Channel 2, Gaming Channel 3, Channel 4, Channel 5, sub-channels of characters. That's this channel.
Have you still got your girlfriend?
Oh, yeah.
Then how in the hell do you have time to do 15,000 videos, dude? Wow, I salute you.
Timey-wimey. Listen, she's in it for the grand haul, right? And my kids are older now, and it's like, if the only reason we didn't get married was because, one, the money wasn't there to get married, so one good thing, and then two, her dad was sick and different things were going on with her family at the time. So like but we're still gonna get married. We're still gonna be together. We're still considered married as it is, So like, she ain't going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. She's the only love for me, and that's it. And I'm lucky. I am actually lucky. I got the perfect girl who now is a YouTuber. Now she's starting.
I feel like the Lone Ranger. I've been engaged for 7 years and we still ain't got married yet. So.
We're legally not married.
What are you waiting for? Why are you waiting?
Okay, my fiance of 7 years has got a kid that is nuts. He's 20 years old. He's mentally screwed up. He's homicidal. He's been in jail 3 times for attacking her, but she won't do nothing with him. So I can't marry her and move in there with that psycho. So I've got a little apartment now. I sold my house. I've got a little bitty apartment, and I live here, and she lives across town at her house, and I see her every day. But she don't want to get married until he's off on his own, which will probably be about 6 to 8 months after I'm dead. So I can relate to where you're coming from with that long engagement.
Are you still in the warm climate there?
Am I still what?
I don't want to say where you live.
I'm in Tallahassee, but I'm on the other side of town from where I used to live.
Gotcha. Okay.
I used to live in the country, and now I live right smack in the middle of town in a tiny little 2-room apartment, which I freaking hate.
I remember.
I got the same problem you do.
I remember when you told me you had my books in your barbershop.
Yeah, I worked at the barber shop, but
That's
then
why
after I
I
had
knew
the
it
heart
was you when
attack.
you told me that, because nobody knew that Michael was doing your barbershop.
Yeah. And I put your books in there, and everybody was reading them while they're waiting for their haircuts. Yeah, but I had to quit working, so
that's
now I'm on
cool.
disability. So I'm in kind of the same boat you're in. I mean,
Well,
I don't do
the
YouTube,
only,
but I
the
wish
only
I did.
problem is I'm not on disability yet. I don't know if it's going to be.
Well, I just got on it, and I've been trying to get on it for about 3 years, and
Well,
I
the thing
just
is,
got on it.
I go for jobs, and they're like, I guess I'm overqualified, or my teeth are missing. They look like I'm a monster, and they're gonna hire the 18-year-old kid. They're not gonna hire toothless wonder me or 51-year-old. They'll want the 18-year-old kid that's gonna be working, not the 51-year-old guy. And it's
Exactly. That's the same problem I had.
Yeah, right.
You got to go in there at
Discrimination.
57
My
with a
father went
hernia and a heart condition. Nobody's going to hire you.
And again, I thought that I was gone with the hernia until a couple weeks ago when I went for the ultrasound and all that stuff, and they're like, "Oh, you got a hernia." I'm like, fuck. It's like because it's hard getting a job where you're gonna lift if you have a hernia. Everything's lifting nowadays, so that's gonna be impossible. Even in the medical field.
With both of us, I've got the title for this episode. He told you last night, don't just put numbers on it.
Aiden, yeah.
Today's episode is, if it weren't for bad luck, we'd have no luck at all.
Yeah.
That's a good title. Hold on.
I tell you, yeah,
What's if go ahead, say it again. If what?
No, go ahead.
What was the title you want?
If it weren't for bad luck, we'd have no luck at all.
That's very defeatist.
There you go.
We'll start a new show, Joe. Me and you, Over the Hill Whovians.
Yeah, we're gonna do Doctor Who when Doctor's about to die. Jesus Christ.
Bezman put Joe make the proposal when season 3 is official.
God, that's so funny. It's just amazing to me how it's to me. How many years have we been around that it seems to me like every year that there's a new troll, it's like a new opponent, like a boxer. Jake Paul, who's he fighting now? It's like, okay, Chavez, right? Like every year there's a new person that takes a go at me. It's like, all right, next, who's this year? Who's this year? It's like, okay.
Talking of boxers, see Manny Pacquiao's coming back from retirement.
What happened?
Manny Pacquiao's announced that he's returning to boxing.
My grandfather, I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but my grandfather was a boxing champion, and he got me into, besides being a baker and owning a bakery in Brooklyn and the family and all that stuff, he got me into boxing. And when I was a kid, he showed me everything, and we would always have a ritual where my dad would get boxing, and my grandfather would come over and we would watch like Mike Tyson fight this one, or George Foreman fight this one, or Sugar Ray Leonard fight this guy, and I was just like, I was never in as much as he was, obviously, because he was in the industry himself, and I never wanted to be a boxer, but I was into it. And then of course when I was a kid, they took me to see Rocky 3 and Rocky 4, and then I saw Rocky 1 and 2, and I was, oh my God, I loved it. But I still watch boxing now, whenever I can.
No, it's a better story when they ask you what happened to your teeth. Say, hey man, boxing.
Right. Somebody punched my fucking face out. Right.
Or you could just say that Mugger tried to get his wallet and he got beat up for it.
Connor, who is that in the lobby?
I can't see the lobby.
I can't.
Only you can.
I don't know if I want to add this person because I don't know who this is.
Well, I mean, you put the link in the.
Oh, that's right. Anybody could come in. Shit.
Yeah, so literally anyone could come in now.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not gonna let anybody in unless I know who it is.
Well, just tell them to put in the private chat who their name is.
First of all, they lie. People lie. How can we believe that?
Well,
The doctor lies.
Take them at face value, and then if they're not who they say they are, kick them out.
Well, like old Doc, he had to prove to me who he was by telling me something only I would know. So there you go.
Well, there you go. Then do the same thing as you did with Old Doc.
All right, Meta Whovian, whoever you are, tell us who you are, or some shit. I don't know.
Are you Madam Kavarian?
Yeah, right. So what was I doing?
Hey, if you type something into the chat on this thing, is only the people in the room can see it, or can anybody see it?
On the private
think-
chat.
I think
Only
there's two chats. There's private chat that you sent it just to us, just me, Connor, Louis.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Sam
it?
DeMayo. Sam DeMayo.
Okay, it says everyone in the studio. Is that just us?
Yeah.
Wait, you can't. Oh, we can't. Oh, Sam.
It's Sam DeMayo.
hello.
Yeah, I know who it is now.
Hello. All right.
Hi, Sam.
Hi.
How are you, bro?
Oh my God.
A bit sad. A bit sad because Shooty is gone. And what we got now, I don't know.
Oh God.
Is Billy really the doctor? I don't know.
We
She's
got
back.
secret diary of a doctor girl.
Yeah, but so sad. Shooty's gone. I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. That's
You know what? God bless him. He's in Knives Out, Dead Man Walking.
yeah.
He's in Jungle Book. He's going to be in a whole bunch of stuff. He's going to get roles in Disney now and Star Wars and all that stuff. So God bless him and his bright future. That's it.
Mm.
Doctor Who's always about change, but not this type of change. This type of change is
Yeah.
gimmick shit. I don't know. I mean, no, Doc, you know he did that as a gimmick. That's just a gimmick, the Billy Piper shit. That's
It's pure nostalgia, and that's not good. You have to move forward with the show. I like Billy very much. It's one of my favorite companions.
we just needed another doctor. That's it. Not. Oh, it's not the doctor. It is the doctor. It's like I want the doctor to have episodes that make fucking sense scientifically and not. Oh, I'm waving my magic wand and my Sonic. I didn't tell the public, but I have 2 Sonic screwdrivers. And when we did this, I tricked a Ronnie, and my other Sonic measured her whatever.
Hang on. You just wanted an Christmas special where Shooty came back after regenerating, and you're talking about
that's what you said.
Makes sense all of a sudden.
But that could be tied in.
Okay.
Because that could
That
could be tied in where if that's not the doctor, Billy Piper, it's where did the doctor go and did the doctor complete his regeneration? If the doctor didn't complete his regeneration, he's still Shooty, right? So like I would be fine doing a special.
Yeah.
Wait, he can't still be Shooty whilst he's in mid regeneration. There's no once you regenerate, you can't stop that. It can't be stopped.
Yeah,
Journey's
true.
End.
Absolutely.
Did you know that
Journey's End.
they CGI'd her face onto Shooty?
Yeah.
Journey's End.
Yeah.
Journey's
Well,
End.
I didn't see the episode, but I saw the clip. And I'll tell you this. I don't know if you guys have talked about it or not, but in the middle of the regeneration, they cut to the console.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that has something to do with it because you don't cut away from a regeneration just to show the control panel unless there's something behind it. And that's where the Rose stared into the heart of the TARDIS during the Eccleston time.
Yeah.
Well, Connor had a theory that the doctor's in the TARDIS, right, Connor?
Well, I think that they might have swapped out. So the Doctor is like being preserved in the TARDIS, and Bad Wolf is now the Doctor. It might be defense mechanism against kind of whatever he's doing with, because like he basically went off to go and kill himself to save time, didn't he? So it might be the way. It might be a way of the TARDIS protecting the Doctor by swapping the Doctor out with Bad Wolf.
Well, what if he didn't? What if he rejoined with Tennant?
Oh,
My son's yelling at me about that because he's like, Dad, that just because they bi-generate doesn't mean they have to form back together. It's not like Star Trek Kirk being separated. I'm like, why isn't it like that? It should be.
Well, if you want to do Star Trek comparisons, Joe, every doctor after Capaldi was Thomas Riker, a transporter accident, because we saw Capaldi's skeleton.
We also saw Voyager duplicated, and Harry Kim is not our Harry Kim, but okay.
Well, that's right. But
I
I mean,
remember that.
we saw several of Capaldi's skeletons, so there's a lot of transporter copies, and maybe that would be a way to undo all that crap.
Well,
Just go back and say all that after that was a transporter clone, and here's the real doctor buried at the bottom of the skeleton.
The confession dial, which the perception of reality is, it looks like it's a copy, but the Time Lord said flat out that is the doctor just coming back, not whatever. So it's not, the doctor's not a copy, really is the doctor, and it happened in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but it happened in the perception dial, so it might have been a copy that come out of the dial, and the real one died.
Well, no, they cut the Time Lords kind of said it was really him.
What do they know? Look what keeps happening to them. How many times have they been destroyed?
What do they know?
They're no experts on nothing.
Damn son of a bitches.
Look at the way they dress.
Someone still couldn't, with Billy Zia's technology, not know how to spit when he's saying his speech. So there you go. Gallifrey rise, Zion! And spitting all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Look at all that Time Lord DNA going all over the earth.
I think what's going to happen is that just because we see Billy Piper's face, it's going to keep flicking through different faces until it settles on one, and that'll be the doctor.
You're not the first person to say that. I can't remember who else mentioned it.
I said that already. No, I said Romana.
I think it was Martin.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it might
we
be
said that in the last couple of casts. Like,
yeah, it might be just flicking through faces, which would be.
The women Time Lords are able to, vanity-wise, change their face within certain matters of regeneration cycle. Like Romana had the image of Princess Astra, and then the doctor's like, "You can't do that," and then she became another, and then she went back to Princess Astra.
I wouldn't refer to a Time Lord as a woman Time Lord, by the way, because they are gender fluid.
They're Time Lords.
Mm-hmm.
They're just Time Lords, yeah.
But that's not. But they're just being.
Well, they say Time Lady now, but I still think it's Time Lord.
That's being stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid.
That would be a better option for me with Billy Piper. He's just trying on different faces until he settles on one. I don't want Billy Piper to be the doctor. I don't believe it. No.
Well, that's what they should do. They should be like, she should look in the mirror and, I can't have Rose's form, and then and change the face. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
Unless they do unless they go the Bad Wolf part, and then she sees the face and she's like, "Oh, this suits me perfectly."
But I don't want them to do that every generation. I don't want them to be like, he could change his mind about the face, because then that's going to be a regular thing. I don't want that.
Well,
yeah, but wasn't it funny how he didn't bioregenerate though? He just simply.
But he only does it once. You don't have to. Bioregeneration's a rare thing.
Isn't another universe?
Yeah.
Is it?
I think so too.
Changed the universe, didn't he? He changed from the American to gravity.
Why?
But again, he changed.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe he's in another universe, and the Bad Wolf is in whatever universe this is.
Yeah. I think there's a difference in universe between what he left when he left Ruby and Belinda, and where he turned into Bad Wolf.
What I could really say is that the Marity universe is where you bi-generate, but when he goes back to gravity, it's only one generation.
Well, this thing with the war between the land and the sea spin-off with the Sea Devils, was time altered or their DNA altered because of his wrecking the timeline?
No, this is a separate thing. I think it's separate from all the Doctor Who stuff. It's totally separate.
That the toy room is going to play a part in wrapping up the story.
The Celestial Toymaker?
Yeah, I think he's stuck in some form of a universe like the toy room or the Land of Fiction. I don't think it's necessary.
Don't do that.
Universe.
So then you get Neil
Patrick Harris. I don't want any more. Yeah, that means that we're going to get.
just the fact that the rules are just shifting all the time makes me think that it's not the universe. It is a
They need to
universe.
get the gods out of the Doctor Who thing because now it's becoming like pure fantasy now. Now,
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
just do an episode where the Doctor puts them back into their dimension, seals it off, and then we're going back to the scientific stories with Doctor Who and whatever.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
agree. I agree on that.
Well, hang on.
You have these entities that could do anything. It's impossible to beat them, really.
No, I
Didn't he
agree on
just?
that.
Didn't he just? Didn't he just simply just shifted the universe by a couple of seconds just to put it onto its right track? That's all he did.
It was a couple of seconds, yes.
Yeah,
You
but we
think-
haven't seen the aftermath of that, have we? Or what?
We only see
They
that
did it.
Belinda is the mother of Poppy. That's it.
Also, I didn't mention it because I wasn't part of any Wish World review, but the way that Conrad was talking about the Doctor in Wish World with the book, like the Harry Potter looking book,
Yeah.
it was to me very much playing with the
Yeah.
idea that Doctor Who is a TV show within the TV show.
I don't think they're doing that anymore. Oh, by the way, Old Duck, they did that.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry. Russell T Davies had actually said that temporarily that Doctor Who was a TV show, and they had Whovians as fans talking to the Doctor. Did you see that? And he's like, "Well, what's your favorite episode?" And they're like, "Blink, blink," and then they're like, "No, you're not a TV show, Doctor. We're fake because the God wants you to believe you're a TV show." And then the Doctor Who logo and everything in the background. It was the worst episode I've ever seen a Doctor Who ever. It was called Lux, and they had Alan coming.
Yeah, Lux. Yeah.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Mr. Ringerding.
You can see clips of it online. It was terrible. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The worst thing it was the jumping the shark Happy Days moment right there. But then again, we're jumping the shark a lot lately, aren't we, Doctor?
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
This whole jumping the shark thing is related to the fact that he's not in the universe that we think he's in.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll find out that the boss there and is.
That's why the TARDIS. Wait. That's why the TARDIS was off, because the TARDIS doesn't work properly in other universes. Because when you went to that universe in the Cybermen, he had to blow regeneration energy in the TARDIS to get it to work.
RTD loves a reset button. Once the boss thing is revealed and sorted, he'll just hit a massive reset button and we'll go back to where it was when Jodie was the Doctor.
Yeah.
I think so too, Connor.
I couldn't be before Jodie.
It's this whole thing that's happened since Tennant 14 isn't real in the context of the show.
He fucked the whole universe up.
It is, Connor. It is.
I don't actually think I'm more and more believing that the reason why Jodie appeared in the last episode is because she is the last legitimate Doctor in terms of
true.
If a reset was to happen,
Jodie would be the Doctor.
Tennant and Gatwa's incarnation wouldn't necessarily exist on the same timeline as the
Jodie.
first.
Yeah, I see what you said. Yeah, I see what you said. That makes sense in a kind of way.
So is that what you do? You bring Jodie back, it
wouldn't necessarily be Jodie, but it would just pick up from. You might get about.
So would you have Jodie regenerate again?
I don't know. Like this is just my.
Would you be on the cliffside and redo that, but it's not Tennant now?
Possibly.
So now you would say in the first time in history that Doctors would be erased from existence then?
No, not necessarily erased, but it would be explained by the fact that it's not the universe that we thought it was.
They could explain it from Jodie onwards could be a parallel timeline.
But don't you think if they do that? Don't you think the biggest thing is the biggest problem we have is we don't want a reset button. We don't want them to just wave a magic wand and just erase everything.
Go-to.
Yeah,
but if you start doing that, you're going to do it every time.
Yeah, but all that shooting did is basically destroy the reality world, reality universe, and put it back onto the real universe.
But
that's where we are right now.
This is a thing that has happened in our real world concerning movies, where these writers got creative
Yeah.
and they said, okay, I want to do a sequel to Superman 2, where Superman 3 and 4 never happened, and I'm going to call it Superman Returns, right? So that
Yes.
started this trend in Hollywood where we dealt with alternate realities or whatever. And then that wasn't necessarily successful because then after having Superman 2, now you go back to Superman 1, and nobody wanted to see Superman 1 after you saw Superman 2, so there was no 3 villains, it was back to a human. Same thing like with RoboCop. They're like,
You guys are suggesting Crisis Infinite Doctors.
right.
Yeah.
It's like Crisis on Infinite Earths when DC had to reset. If
I
you
want
make
that.
it too complicated, regular people are going to stop watching it because they're going to say, I don't understand this damn thing.
That's what I feel. I don't want that. I want the doctors exist. That's it. Just move on. No gimmick.
Yeah.
I just hope when we get to the reveal of the boss, if we ever get to it, I hope we do get our answer. Then it's not missing.
The only thing
I just hope,
everybody should
I
be
just hope the
focused
boss.
on.
I just hope the boss is a good, is a good villain. You know.
The only thing everybody should be focused on is when Disney Plus makes this announcement, whether it be this week or a month. I'll be on Disney Plus, Christmas special, whatever. That's it.
Do you just not have a feeling that Neil Patrick Harris is going to come back?
I have 100%
Yeah,
feeling he's coming back.
No,
I have 100% feeling
I don't.
he's
I
coming back.
can't see it.
I have 100%.
I can't see that. I can't see it. As well.
I'd love it if the toy maker and Maestro paired up.
Russell already said he would want Neil Patrick Harris back.
Yeah,
He said he wants a Rogue came back. He said he wants a Maestro
You
back.
don't hire Neil Patrick Harris for a one-off appearance. I don't believe.
You don't.
Why not? Why not? Why not? Remember, Shooty said but remember when Shooty said in Lost Episode, I fought the gods and I won. He won. They were defeated, all of them. He defeated them.
Well, not really. The joke
Not
is,
really. Not really.
The joke is he really didn't win because he probably got played.
Yeah, also, he kept saying that the gods like to play tricks.
So he probably didn't win shit.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, she talks about a boss, doesn't she? And the boss has just been talked about with Anita. So is the boss a god?
Well, here's the thing now. Is the boss is the boss because now they said hello. So what does that mean? Is that a pronoun? What is that?
No, that just means that's a singular. They're just saying it's singular. So it's one person that's more powerful than anything we've seen before.
So now they is singular now?
Well,
singular.
I would say that it's possibly a Time Lord. So I'm going to go with Meddling Monk.
Oh, the Meddling Monk, yeah. Meddling Monk likes to.
Everybody is bringing back his fucking up. Russell. He brought back Sutek. He fucked him up in the end. He brought back Omega. He fucked him up in the end. Just stop. Maybe.
What about Lorani wanting to have eat off with Conrad?
Just stop.
Yeah.
I don't think he is going to stop because he's loving nostalgia right now.
But the show is so fantasy, right?
Yeah, but you can.
The show is so fantasy, right?
Yeah.
All right. If he's not going to stop, right? Take a fucking season break from the gods.
Well,
Daleks invade Earth. That's it. Cybermen invade. That's it.
I don't know if you know this about the Well, but the Well, when it was written by Sharma Walpole, was originally supposed to just be about a mining planet. And it was supposed to pretty much happen the way it happened. It was RTD. The reason why he's got a co-writing credit is because he came in and he refashioned the whole story to be a sequel to Midnight.
But now...
Which you should never have done.
Hold on. Now, the Well never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it never happened because none of that happened. The Interstellar Song Concept happened because everybody thought the Earth was destroyed. So now, if the Earth is not destroyed, then you have a different timeline. So the Well didn't happen.
Well, if you think about Russell Work for a minute here, when we was last in charge, we if you think about it from a theoretical point of view, we always banged on. We want the classic villains and all that. He's coming and saying, "Well, I'll give you the classic villains," and he's fucking them up.
Well, no, he's not doing the monsters. He's not doing Daleks. He's not doing Cybermen. That's what you need.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
People want to see the Daleks and they want to see the Cybermen.
It's not.
Forget about
It's
the
not
gods.
that. It's not that we want the Cybermen on the Dalek. We want proper writing. We don't want fucking stupid writing that
We
he's
want
doing.
proper writing,
He's not doing it.
but when Chibnall tried to do new characters, he fucked up because it got boring.
Yeah, but if you remember when we had Russell the last time, we said, "Oh, we want Narani back. We want Sutek and all that." He said, "Oh, we got no, not this time." And then this time he's coming in and they said, "Oh, I'll get it to you because I've got a budget to do it." And he's fucked him up. And he's fucked him up. Then he said, and he's going to come out, and I bet when he gets some news of the show on, he'll be again.
Journey to the Center of the TARDIS was the reset button episode. I don't like that.
I bet when Russell does pull away from the show again, I bet he'll say, "I tried to give you what you wanted this time with classic villains, and you still didn't like what I done."
Why can't we have an episode like Earthshock where the companion just fucking dies and that's it?
Yeah.
Because
That's
Russell
it.
T. Davies
Mhm.
Russell T. Davies did an interview and he doesn't believe in death in Doctor Who.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ.
He doesn't believe that it should be a show where characters die.
Well, it's all,
But he
it's
killed
all-
members of Unit from the toy maker. He
yeah,
killed
it's all-
Sutek.
Linda
Killed
with a
everybody.
Y. It's all right. It's all right. This is Russell T. Davies, who also believes that Gillian Anderson as the Master is too obvious.
He always resets in death.
It's not going to work.
And the fact that the TARDIS explodes.
No, it's not
And the
gonna
fact that the
work.
TARDIS explodes. No,
The
and the fact that the
show
TARDIS
may not be.
exploded,
Listen,
and no,
listen. The show may not be canceled now,
right, go on.
and it may not be canceled in season 4, but
I don't.
it's going to a road where eventually it will be if you keep this bullshit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I bet you that's what he's going to say when he pulls away from the show. He'll say, "I gave you what you wanted. I brought back classic villains and classic Who people, and you still weren't happy. And you still weren't happy with what I'd done."
Every fandom, every show like Doctor Who,
Yeah.
they all had a Bible that they went by, where certain things could not change.
No, not.
Spider-Man could not kill anybody. Spider-Man could not shoot anybody.
You know what I think it really
That's
is?
true. That's true. That's
What's that?
I'll tell you what I think it really is, honestly. And I've just been sitting here thinking about this. You take Star Trek, Doctor Who, Marvel and DC, Star Wars. These things have been around so long. They're older than we are.
Right.
That are not Star Wars, but everything else is older than we are. Maybe all the good stories have just been told. And at this point, you've run out of good material.
Absolutely fair point. Yeah. I don't.
Fair point.
I agree with that.
Fair point.
Nothing lasts forever. Entropy destroys things. And after so long, how many stories about Spider-Man can you tell before it just becomes redundant? How many stories about the Doctor can you tell until it just becomes ridiculous?
Endlessly.
It's hard to come up with good stories that haven't already been done before.
No, I don't think so.
Doctor Who, it's about time travel. It's about dimensions. It's about, all right, if you don't want to talk about the timeline, if you don't want to talk about the past, present, and future, you have sideway dimensions like Battlefield. You could explore that.
But if you go off on those kinds of tangents, Joe, the regular audience is not going to follow that. I mean, science fiction fans, but your regular mom and dad and kids, when you start getting into alternate dimensions and stuff, they lose it. They're like, I don't understand this.
It's like one of the
they
things
did Inferno though. People love that.
It's like
that was back in the 7th Doctor's time, and it's in the 3rd Doctor's time. That was 100 years ago when the stories were new and fresh.
It's like
It's all been done before.
It's like I want the Damons to return, but I know he'll get fucked up in this era.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, right? They need to do one thing they can do. Do not have Russell come back to season 3. Get someone else in with new fresh blood, and that's it. Because Russell's just going to do the same old crap he's been doing. You can't keep going on with Russell's mindset.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying, Philip. He'll come out.
Agreed.
I gave you what I wanted, and you're still turning against me.
And get a writer that writes science fiction and stop preaching social crap. It's a science fiction show. Do science fiction.
Russell T. Davies saved the BBC from getting fucking destroyed. He saved Doctor Who from getting destroyed. He's helping Like he built Bad Wolf. He gave people jobs. He created shows to get people jobs.
Yeah.
He
They are
didn't.
not.
He didn't build Bad Wolf. That was
Yeah, but
James
now, yeah, but
But he gave them.
that's
He
all well
gave
and
them
good.
work. He gave them Wizards versus Aliens.
Yeah,
He
but
gave them
Joe,
contracts.
Joe, that's all well and good, Joe. But he's become so I can't say that word, egotistical, that he's fucking everything up
Yeah,
now.
egotistical.
But don't you
Yeah.
understand that we have that already? We have Kathleen Kennedy that is beyond egotistical, and they can't remove her.
Oh,
They
she
can't
will.
remove her.
It's not, why not?
They're
She
so
will.
She's a person. She's
powerful.
not some sort of.
Because the reason why they can never remove Kathleen Kennedy is because Kathleen Kennedy gave George Lucas the pen to sign the rights over to Disney, and they're eternally grateful, and they will never fire her because they will always make money because of her. Her fucking children,
Yeah.
her fucking grandchildren, her great grandchildren will be rich forever.
Well, that's a very
Same
odd
thing
look
like
at things
Russell.
then. Because then,
Russell, you may say, can him. Well, does anybody, just like these people want to show the ratings, do you show all the new shows going on Disney Plus because of Russell? Do you say, hey, Disney Plus is like, oh, David Tennant was the doctor in our show. Here's Rivals. It's because of Doctor Who. It's Moffat doing a show on Disney Plus because of Russell. It's like he's controlling everything. He's becoming the Kevin Feige. He is growing so much in power, he can't be removed. Even if Doctor Who is doing badly,
that's
right?
ridiculous.
But if the ratings for The War Between the Land and the Sea is through the roof, then they can't fire him because they want a season 2. And then Bluey generates money. The BBC will pull Bluey from Disney Plus, and Disney Plus will not make $1 million every day. So, like,
well,
it's
the thing is, the only one that could fire him would be Disney, because do they want another Kevin Feige and another Kathleen Kennedy?
No.
They don't want him fired because they offered him stuff in the MCU already.
Have they?
Yes, and he said no.
Really?
He got offered a Star Wars show by George Lucas.
Yes.
Oh Jesus.
He was going to do Star
here's
Wars.
the thing.
I didn't know that.
When Russell leaves,
like underground.
This is about ego, okay? Russell is going to prove to the Whovians, you never got me fired. My last season that I mentioned was season 5. I'm going to have 5 seasons of Doctor Who on there, and then I'm going to go off and do MCU and Star Wars, but I'm still going to remain being in charge of Doctor Who's legacy with Disney Plus or the BBC.
Yeah, but he's already pushing it into the ground. How much further does he want to push it into the ground? If you want Doctor Who to survive, get rid of the bastard and try someone else.
But you think he's pushing it into the ground, right? But you said it yourself. Disney won't tell us how much money they're making off Russell. They won't show us the ratings. You said it yourself. We don't know. No one knows. But then everybody's doing podcasts like experts. Doctor Who is done. They said Doctor Who is done since 2017. It's still around.
And say he's done tomorrow, Philip. Who are we going to get drafted in? You bet he'll go and say, "Can you take over against Stephen Moffat?"
Do you realize that if he's in charge of Doctor Who past season 5, do you realize he's going to do everything he said he was going to do? He's going to make the Doctor a lion creature animal. He's going to make the Doctor a samurai warrior. He put that in his fucking book. He put that in. Yes, he put that in the thing. He said that the Doctor is going to become an animal. He said that in Christopher Eccleston's episode. I could become a dog. I could become a dog with 2 heads. I could become a dog with no noses. How would that be a dog with no noses? He wasn't joking around. He's fucking serious. During lockdown, he said the Doctor visits whoever was dying in the nurse hospital in New York, and he was a lion creature. And then that the samurai doctor helped out the doctor saving Gallifrey in the Pocket Universe with Jodie and with Capaldi. Oh, I'm sorry, Capaldi, whatever. Yeah, and he even said Jodie helped too. Like that's the point, is that he, if he stays, going to do everything he wants to do, and no one. The only person that can remove Russell is Russell, or if Russell
The
fucks up
BBC.
something but if Russell fucked something up so bad, then they would fire him. But he's too smart. Like he's not going to come out during a Doctor Who thing, and he's not. So that's the thing, is yes, shooting that guy was a touch grass ruined him, right? Russell is just gonna fucking sell you that used car with no motor, no wheels, and say that you can use your fucking brain to make it levitate because you're God, and people are gonna believe it.
No.
He's the greatest showman. He's the greatest showman. Look at the way he talks. Oh, there's going to be spoilers. There's going to be this.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You fucking nailed it. For me, this is what I hate about him, is that he's not a fucking showrunner. He's a showman. I hate the way they Moffat talk. They shouldn't. No, you don't see fucking. I'm going to use an example like Jesse Armstrong, who wrote Succession, like one of the most famous HBO series recently. You don't see him going on TV on the BBC and fucking waving his arms about and saying like, "This is the best thing I've ever written."
He is so powerful with his words that you remember how everybody and their mother was saying on podcasts, "What about the 14th Doctor?" And what did he do? He's like, "Well, I'm just going to say the Doctor drowned," and nobody mentioned the 14th Doctor again because they took him at his word. But he lied, and he knows he lied, and they say he lies.
He's
but
a PR machine. He is PR machine.
He is a goddamn. He invented the name PR.
He knows how to spin a good story in the media.
Yeah.
He's an expert at it. He really is the best showrunner to do that.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
He said it himself. In the last interview, he said, "Oh, I'm working on it," because they said, "What about the Christmas special?" I'm working on it. I'm trying. He is manipulating shit. Somehow he's gonna pull a rabbit out of his asshole. He always does.
What? I think Moffat. The reason why them two are good friends is because Moffat is exactly the same. The difference is that Moffat is a far more intelligent writer than RTD is.
True.
But they're all the same.
Moffat can genuinely write his way into a corner and then write his way out without having to do any massive like reset button stuff.
Russell, Moffat, and Chibnall are the Doctor, Ronnie, and the Master in the fucking Time Lord Academy. Basically,
I think.
No.
Chibnall is far more grounded. Chibnall is probably the kind of.
Yeah, but
Chibnall is the kind of show
more like
that
Jane Smith
need, but Chibnall is not the right.
If you don't think that Chibnall's going to write another episode of Doctor Who under Russell, you're out of your mind.
No. But what you need a showrunner with Chris Chibnall's temperament, because Chris Chibnall isn't all about being this huge showman in the press. He's just about wanting to write the show, and his aim wasn't the best.
And getting on with it,
But like he got on with it.
Yeah.
As well.
The only time you're ever gonna have another showrunner other than the unholy Trinity or Trinity, whatever you're gonna call them, is if Russell's in charge of the showrunner.
No, we don't want Russell, man. He's proved his point. He's done what he's got to do.
What about that other guy that was so good at writing? Remember, he played on Doctor Who a couple times. He played the Brigadier's grandfather in Capaldi's last episode.
Oh,
Mark
Gatiss.
Let Mark Gatiss do an episode like fucking Sleep No More, and then we're fucked. Let him do a whole season like that.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, you don't think Mark Gatiss would be up to try to be showrunner if Davis left?
I don't think so.
No.
I think he could do it.
Mark Gatiss, the way he treated it is he turns it on and off at will. So he could write and then he could go appear in the Fantastic Four as an actor presenting the Fantastic Four to the general public. He did Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
He decided what
True.
money Cersei this one had for the Game of Thrones army. Like, he implants himself in every goddamn fucking show there is and every important thing as an actor. So he's an actor and a writer. So if he's bogged down as a showrunner, he can't be an actor.
Yeah.
And he was in Mission Impossible, the last one.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go. He's in everything,
Yeah.
that motherfucker.
I'm surprised Russell ain't got David Tennant on one side. I said, you can be showrunner.
The only thing is,
yeah.
the only way he would ever get fired is if he disrespected the BBC in such a way that they would have to fire him.
Yeah,
But the
that's
point
always way, but
he's just, yeah, but the point is, he's disrespecting the fans, not the BBC. And
But
the fans are the ones that
don't
are
give a
important.
shit. The BBC don't give a shit.
But they need to, because they need
They
to.
don't care.
They need to give it to, because they have.
Yeah, but you
They-
know,
They care. They're losing money left, right, and centre.
they are losing money for it, but you
They
know the BBC
were
are like
done. Do you understand? They were done. Do you understand that when he was? What was the one event when he was the showrunner of Doctor Who? What was the one time they told him no? Do you remember? I remember. We talked about it. Do you remember when he went to do something in Doctor Who and they said, you're not allowed to do that? And he flipped the fuck out, but he had to obey, right? That was when they tried to, he wanted to say that the woman in the end of time was the Doctor's mother, and somebody came out of the woodwork with the BBC from a Doctor Who classic series that had power in the BBC, and they said, you're not allowed to do that. And even though he left Doctor Who, he was pissed, right? So when the BBC's about to die and Doctor Who's about to die,
he'll say that
he made them sign this weird contract where he is renting the Doctor out like a hot dog fucking cart, where he pays them money to use the Doctor, to use the Doctor Who universe. He pays money to the Terry Nation estate. He pays anything he wants with Doctor Who, as long as the BBC cannot question his authority.
Yeah.
And he will welcome taking money from the BBC, and he welcome taking money from Disney, but no one can remove him. No one.
But I think Disney is out.
And at the end of the day,
they're gone.
forget about the ratings. The BBC, he gives them a check, and there's your profitability. Doesn't matter how well Doctor Who does. I rented Doctor Who. Here's your check for this year. Here's your check for this year. That's why the BBC don't give a fuck about the ratings, because they are paid off every year by Russell. This is why you could have the ratings in the fucking toilet and Doctor Who still continue. Now, here's the difference. The difference is that if the ratings are in the toilet for Disney could say, we don't want to be your streaming service anymore, but Doctor Who will continue because Russell is going to cut them a check. Okay? He is renting the characters like you are renting an apartment, or you are renting a house, or like Sony. Okay. Sony rents Spider-Man out to Disney. Now, even though Disney bought Marvel sold the rights, the movie rights to Spider-Man to Sony. Sony will never give up the Spider-Man rights. So Disney has to lick their ass to get Spider-Man in their Marvel products, right? If if Sony tomorrow said, fuck you, Spider-Man will be done with Disney. So there is all this shit that they're doing, right, to get Spider-Man to stay, right? This is the same thing with Doctor Who. You are not understanding. BBC are paid every year. That's their check. They made it. They are in business.
But
They are paid.
But Doctor Who is their IP. It doesn't belong to Russell. Russell is just writing stories.
But you can't. But it doesn't matter because even if it's their IP, there wasn't going to be a BBC anymore. He saved the BBC. He put his friends.
They didn't save the BBC.
He saved the BBC. Still exists.
No. He didn't save the BBC. That's indeed untrue. He didn't save the BBC.
They're still around, Sammy. They're still around. They were going to be extinct. He even said it. They were going to be extinct.
Only because of the but that's only down to the TV license debacle.
Yeah,
that has to do with what they produced.
During that period of the Conservatives fucking with the BBC, Russell made shows with the BBC.
What?
Yeah, it's politics. It's politics.
I can't hear you, Connor. What did you say?
Russell only made 2 shows with the BBC when all of that stuff was going on. He didn't have much to do. He only advocated.
But Doctor Who is their #1 moneymaker.
That's not necessarily true.
It's one of their top.
It's one of them. Their biggest for many, many, many years was Top Gear.
But it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah, it's gone now. But it was for many, many years.
What show do they have that they make money off of action figures and calendars and mugs and pens and T-shirts and video games? What property does the BBC have that is constantly generating the money every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year? Other than Doctor Who.
EastEnders. Silent Witness.
Is EastEnders still going on?
Yeah, but it doesn't do the whole merchandise, and that's more of a like you get more.
I know.
If you were to guesstimate, Connor, how much Doctor Who made the BBC from 1963 till now? Not accurate, but I'm talking ballpark.
I couldn't even ballpark that.
Would you say $1 billion?
Probably.
Yeah.
Much more than
$1 billion.
Yeah, much more.
So correction, Connor. Doctor Who is the #1 moneymaker for the BBC. Yes?
Yeah.
No.
That's subjective.
Well, the BBC
that's not
is
really
not going anywhere because the government's not going to let it die because BBC News is their propaganda machine.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. They had the HBO Max deal, right?
Yeah, it's
the back catalog, right?
Go on.
Wait. They had the HBO Max deal because of the back catalog, right? Right?
Yeah.
And who got them that deal?
It
Chris
would have
Chibnall.
been
Chris
it would have
Chibnall.
been BBC, but yeah,
Chris Chibnall. Okay, come on, Chris Chibnall. Did they fire Chris Chibnall? No.
No.
You want to know why they? Wait. You want to know why they didn't fire Chris Chibnall? Because Chris Chibnall got them HBO Max money.
I think
Chris
no. I
Chibnall
think
got
you're
them China money.
No, wait. You're confusing the role of the showrunner. The showrunner doesn't go in. The showrunner doesn't arrive at the negotiating table.
No, I'm not talking about
BBC
that.
and
No.
HBO
Moffat gave him the role as the showrunner, and they never fired him and they didn't cancel Doctor Who because he's making the money regardless. It doesn't even matter if it's
the people that will do the deals with HBO and Disney Plus are BBC Worldwide, BBC Studios.
But they made
BBC Studios. Yes,
wait,
BBC Studios.
Wait. They put a thing in the newspaper that Chibnall got them the deal.
No, but that's not true.
Yes, that is true.
That's not true.
That is true.
No, it's not true.
you are fundamentally misunderstanding the role of the showrunner. The role of the
I'm not
showrunner.
talking about Doctor Who as a showrunner. I'm talking about.
No, but that's the only capacity that Chris Chibnall was ever involved in Doctor Who in. He was only ever
Yeah.
showrunner.
Yeah.
He doesn't go
also-
to. There is
Yeah.
this misconception that people like RTD and Moffat and Chris Chibnall go to the negotiating table of these big deals and get these big deals. RTD
No.
probably had very, very little to do in the Disney Plus deal because I reckon,
Yes.
as he actually alluded
True.
to many times, that the deal was already on the table before he joined the show again.
Yeah. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
I
the
can,
deal was signed knowing he was the showrunner.
Yeah, he was probably only ever going to sign on to being the showrunner again if they had a big deal like that.
Would the deal have been signed if it was a shitty showrunner?
Possibly. It depends. Again, it's BBC Studios that are negotiating
Yeah. Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
not
I just
RTD.
want people to be open-minded to understand that it isn't that simple to remove Russell,
I agree with you.
as
And
you
that-
think.
that-
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's not for the
True,
reason.
true.
Yeah,
That is the only
I-
thing I'm
I-
trying to listen.
No.
That's the
The
only
reason,
thing I'm
the reason
trying
why
Yeah,
to.
but
RTD
I-
can't be, the reason why RTD can't
I
be
think
removed
it-
is he's got Bad Wolf backing him.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, I'm trying to tell everyone, he's not
Yeah.
leaving,
I don't
No,
know.
he's
I
not.
agree with it. I agree with
going anywhere.
No.
yeah, but the point is, if he stays, it's gonna ruin it even more the way he writes. It's
If
not gonna
I
get
was
any
the show-
better if
listen
he's
to me.
still
I'm gonna
there.
explain something to you. I'm gonna explain something to you. As much as people love me, right? There are people that don't love me, right? If I was giving the keys
Okay.
to the kingdom, wait. If I was giving the keys to the kingdom, and if I was given the power to be the showrunner of Doctor Who, and the only person that could remove me was me, I would die being the showrunner of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
No, I would not let any motherfucker anywhere near Doctor Who ever. Even if I lived to be 150, no one would be
Yeah.
allowed to touch it. And I would create shit where my
No.
family would touch it and no one else would be allowed to touch it. I would be selfish
So
and
so
not
basically-
give it to
Ah.
Yeah, no,
anyone.
that's what I mean. But
I
now you're
would
sounding
not
like
let anybody
Razorlock.
have it.
This is my dad.
I don't care. I would not allow anybody to have it ever. Ever.
So if he was
Ever.
gonna die,
Yeah,
you'd be the one that killed it.
No. I would not
Exactly.
I would not allow anybody to touch it. That's the thing.
Can I say that I'm going to use a recent example of an acquisition as well to back this up?
No.
I don't think that you might think that that's true now, but I reckon that something could happen in your tenure of being sole dictator of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
That could turn your head. Recently, Barbara Broccoli, who is Cubby Broccoli's daughter, who was the original producer,
Yes,
of James
Connor.
Bond,
Yes.
was given a
Yes.
very, very big paycheck by Amazon
Yeah.
to give the
Mhm.
creative rights
Yeah,
of
I remember that.
to Amazon.
Yeah.
And that was a family business. She gave
Yes.
it away in a heartbeat. And that
Yeah.
woman is a business.
Yes, you did.
And I'm pissed about that. I'm pissed, man. Bloody Amazon.
But while Russell
Bloody
is
Amazon.
while Russell is renting Doctor Who, they can't sell it.
I mean, he is in a very lucrative position in the fact that he's got Bad
yeah.
Wolf backing him.
But
Bad
while
Wolf-
he's under contract,
okay, if
whatever
he-
it is,
Right.
they
If
can't
he,
sell it.
if he can't be removed, simply remove him from writing Doctor Who. Then let him just be in the
They
background,
can't.
making little.
I agree with you.
Oh
He
man,
would be better. He
Philip,
would be better.
I'm
in
not
an
saying I don't agree with you, Philip. I'm not saying he shouldn't
Yeah.
be removed. The way he's writing, it's getting fucked up, and it's
It
looking
is.
like shit.
He shouldn't be the writer. He should be the
But they
executive
can't
producer.
remove him,
Yeah. Yeah.
Philip. I agree,
yeah.
but they
No, they
can't
can't
remove.
remove
No
him.
one can remove him, Philip.
No. No. Even I.
Then,
No.
no, then,
I-
no,
I-
there must
look,
be.
look,
Then, I bet
look,
you. I bet you there is a simple way. I bet you there is a simple way they can remove them if there is a way, they'll do it.
Philip,
But the
the
point
only
is,
person,
you're
the only
thinking.
person, there's one person that can remove him. God.
Mm,
That's very harsh. That's very harsh.
Only God can remove Russell.
God.
mm,
No, David Tennant.
Oh, well,
Oh, that's
Because
you know
dangerous.
what? I can think
Listen to me, I'm not trying to be morbid, but if Russell T. Davis
are
died,
we,
he would be
are we
removed.
going to get into a theological
Why
debate?
can't-
I'm
so-
agnostic.
No.
Well, hang on. Wait.
David Tennant is going to be the one that
Hang on.
removes him.
Why can't Disney Plus just simply say we don't want to work with Bad Wolf in the world, we want to work directly with the BBC to make
Why
Doctor Who?
can't who?
Why can't they do that?
Who?
Why can't Disney Plus say we don't want to work with Bad Wolf in the world, we want to work directly with BBC to make Doctor Who? Why can't they do that?
They could say
They
that,
tried.
and the BBC said, wait. They could say that, and the BBC will say, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Bad
they just
BBC
said, go
and
fuck yourself
Disney
in the
Plus would-
newspaper.
Because BBC promised Bad Wolf the production of Doctor
They
Who.
just said to make everybody know without room for error that regardless of what Disney Plus decides, Doctor Who is going to continue, whether they
Yeah.
do it themselves or not. So they don't give a fuck if Disney dumps them. They're giving Russell whatever money he wants.
Wait. Disney Plus will only be dumping Bad Wolf because it's not doing them any favours. They could simply turn and say, BBC, we like to work with you rather than with Russell. Can we do that? Or we'll make Doctor Who better
No,
if you give us proper writers that know what they're writing.
Then the
No.
next day, Bad Wolf will make everything for Amazon fucking Prime.
No, they
I
can't.
know.
Studios.
I
They
know
can't.
that Russell's still showrunner,
can't.
Philip. So
First of all,
Yeah,
what
they-
studios, Connor? What studios do they have that's as big as Bad Wolf in the UK?
The BBC, ITV, Channel 4.
Okay, but does BBC have the money? Because I
No.
thought they don't have the money.
No, they haven't.
So if you pissed off, let's play. Russell is angry now. So if Russell's angry and he's going to be like the Valyard, then he's going to do everything he can to destroy the BBC because you just hurt his ego. So he's going to make it where the BBC is not going to make money from anybody that's connected with him. So you're not going to get any writer, period,
Well-
that's going to that's good, that's going to work for the BBC. Then he's
That's
gonna
not.
take
I
everything.
don't think that's not even possible. That's not even
Why?
possible because Russell is just one man. He can't be that powerful because he's not.
well,
he's just simply a person.
look at Philip. Because I tell to Stephen Moffat, don't write Sherlock for him. Don't do anything.
You could have, in this day and age, you could have one person that has a child in every state in America, 50 kids, all grow up to be fucking politicians. You could take over the world. Anybody could, right? Behind the scenes, intellectually, he could control the whole BBC like the Five Doctors fucking chessboard. And he can move the second doctor here. He can move these writers. You have no idea how powerful he is. You have no idea.
I don't know.
I think
You have no idea.
I think you're. No, I think you're under what's the word? Misconception.
Really?
I can't say the word, but you're
Okay.
under misillusion.
Okay.
I think you're under. You're
Okay,
under
fine.
an
You know
illusion.
what?
I
You're
don't think.
right. Wait. Okay, you're right. Here we go. Ready? BBC.
Yeah.
Fire Russell T. Davis right now. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is it going to happen? No. You know what's going to happen?
What?
You know what's going to happen? Everybody's saying it's canceled, right?
Remember, he said in that fucking interview where he said, "Oh, we might go on a hiatus, and then the children of the future can write Doctor Who." Therefore, he's saying to himself, "I won't be there forever. I'll let someone else have a go."
You lied.
No, you didn't lie.
Yeah.
You lied.
He
always lies. Moffat said they both lied.
no,
Yes, they did. He doesn't give a shit about that. You
No
know?
one can. No one can have.
Well, what do you
Oh,
give
it
a shit
can't
when you
be
die
Doctor
anyway? So of
Eternal.
course of course when he dies, someone else is going to do it. But he's not dead now.
Yeah, but we're looking at. We don't want him for how many extra years, making it worse and worse. We need
You
him to
have
go
him
and let someone
for
else.
you have him for the amount of time he said he's going to be there. 5 seasons.
What 5 years?
But
5.
Okay.
he's all right.
And while we got that, we'll lose more and more viewers because these shitty writings getting making it worse and worse. There you go. That's a sacrifice.
Yes. He's going to make the Doctor a goldfish, and the whole episode is going
Oh,
to be:
fuck.
will that fish get the food to the top of the water, or will the fish get stuck in a
Oh.
filter? He could basically do that, and you can't do anything about it.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's right. That's right,
A,
Philip.
a,
That's
a
right.
goldfish. A
That's
goldfish,
right.
for God's
He
sake.
could do whatever
Um,
the fuck he wants, and we can't do shit about it.
They did that with Loki.
Yeah.
They did that with Loki.
Philip,
That
I
was
agree with you. The writing is shit lately, Philip.
Yeah.
We could point
It
out
is.
Yeah.
where he took everything from, right? And say he copied
Yeah.
off of Smith and Jones. He copied off of the paradox machine that the Master used the TARDIS to harness the energy to change reality. The Ronnie used the TARDIS to harness the energy to change reality. And the Thousand Suns from the Vindicator. He's copying off of himself. He's copying off of Moffat.
Yeah.
He's copying off everybody. I don't like it. I don't like it. He's doing it.
I know. So that
hold
should
on.
tell you that he's a shit writer. Then if he's borrowing from it left, right, and centre, where's his original idea? Think of it original. If he can't do it, get lost. Let someone else.
Okay.
It's bipolar.
When he wants great scripts, we get great scripts for some reason, even though we're putting out shitty scripts.
Yeah.
Right? It hasn't all been bad this season, right? He's still great. He's still seen. He's still all together, but he's putting out shitty scripts sometimes. Look, Philip.
Yeah.
I think people don't understand. In this day and age, Whovians think that, just like in the real world, that they are so powerful. Everyone believes because of social media that they're so powerful that they can change the course of history. As keyboard warrior, or as it's Sam. Look at the way everybody's treating everybody, right? Okay, let me give you an example. They don't agree with Trump.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Every fucking thing he tries to sign, you got some asshole that's trying to put a stop to it. You have a judge that's trying to put a stop to it. They're interfering with the way the government is run every single day, and it's getting to be really annoying. Where if you keep having this done to you, then you're going to enact executive powers, and you're going to do anything you want because there's too many people interfering with the presidency of the United States, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to do a thing where you pardon yourself no matter what, because they're always going to make up some bullshit. They're always going to. You're not going to be rich to have money for the rest of your life. So this is never going to end. You are always going to have people thinking that they could break something that's permanent. We can never have our country run where there's some asshole trying to wreck it from within, right?
Yeah.
Even in the UK, what I'm trying to say is that people think that an unbreakable stick can be broken. And instead of trying to figure out how to help that stick or to move the stick or walk around the stick or whatever, they're trying to break that stick. You can't remove him.
Yeah, true. But I want to work for Russell. I'm honest. I want to work for the guy. He's
okay. So. Well, he's not going to work for me because in the last video I told him to go fuck himself. So there you go.
And you just told the BBC to fire him.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hypothetically, I wasn't.
No, but I take it personally.
We may not agree with it, but
You know what?
and again,
He needs to go back and watch Classic Who properly and see how it's done.
Yeah.
Not sort of like pluck shit
No, if
out of his head. Just to make,
the only way I could think of,
ask Jodie.
the only way I could think of for him to leave Doctor Who is to someone to give him something else.
Mm-hmm.
And what would he want?
I don't know.
No, that's what I mean. That's the only thing. What would he want? A Disney
know.
Plus show, probably.
yeah,
I
it's
don't
not,
know.
but like I said,
Not a
like-
simple show. It's not a simple show.
no,
It's long term.
like you said, the only way to get having stepped down is for everybody to go, we're not happy with what you're doing. It's not working for us. And then they'll go, okay, fine, I'll leave, and I'll let someone else take control.
That's not going to happen.
No, because the bad wolf, like Joe said, bad wolf people.
It's only gonna. Everybody's gonna vote him out if he did something so horrendous. Okay, ready?
But he's doing things horrendous.
Wait.
He's doing horrendous things already.
No.
If
Yeah,
something happened, let's just say Russell hit his head tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he wakes up and he decides to become the new Jack the Ripper. Then he's fired.
Yeah.
He murdered people. He's fired. He committed a crime. He's fired. He evaded his taxes. He's fired. He embezzled money. He's fired. He's not doing any crimes. If he committed some type of crime that would embarrass the BBC, he would be gone. He didn't. He's not going to be removed.
All right. He's gonna stay for a long time.
And Bad Wolf is on his
Well,
side, so
Yeah.
Yeah, but didn't he say earlier in the year that he's let rented free all his studios in Bad Wolf because Doctor Who's now coming to a close? Didn't he say that? He said that we've opened up all our studios to other people to use. So therefore, Doctor Who is not going to be made anymore. Because Disney Plus decided, you know what, fuck you, we don't want you anymore.
no, but
So let me answer this, Philip. Right? Forget about your memory of Russell currently. What happened when the whole team was going to be laid off? The whole team. And they were all going to be unemployed, and they were all going to be in poverty, and they were all going to be homeless, and they were all going to be this, and BBC didn't step in. What did he do? Because he cared about his people. What did he do? He created a show just so they would have a job for years. He created Wizard versus Aliens, not for the public, not for the kids. He created it so that way his people had jobs. What does that tell you? That means that they are loyal to him because he saved their life. He kept them working.
Yeah.
He's a leader, just like I'm a leader of
fair
the
enough.
group
Yeah, but like the other day, once the show was ended once the show ended yesterday, or wherever day it was, right? You had all those little statements from Jane Tranter and all the other people behind the scene saying it's been fun doing Doctor Who. Goodbye, thank you very much, and all that palaver.
They would
So
never turn
they're not coming back.
Ed Wolf will never turn on him. Ever.
No, but they've gone. They've all gone. They've all left. Once Shooty's done his last bit, they've all gone now. There's no more Doctor Who beyond that.
Who left?
Tranter, Phil Collinson, and all the other behind the scenes people. They've all wrote their little pieces. It's
No.
If you look on the internet,
No.
if you look,
No.
you will see the statements they've all said. What? What do you mean no? What? They wrote their goodbyes. They wrote their.
Yeah, but they're not gone.
I saw the statements from Shooty, from Russell, from Jane Tranter, from Phil Collinson.
Tell me Phil Collins. Okay, read me Phil Collins.
I can't find it.
All right, then tell me what it is.
I don't know where else. Off memory, they're basically saying it's been a fun ride Thank you very much. Blah 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 blah. That's all I could buy.
It's been
Thank you
a
very
fun
much.
ride.
That's all.
It's been a
But
fun
remember,
ride with Shooty.
but remember, hang on. But remember, we got Unleashed next week, celebrating 20 years of Doctor Who. Why would you do that? Celebrate 20 years of Doctor Who
Because they're
if
not
it's
done.
not sort of
Because it's not
no,
done.
they're done. That Tippy says they're done. That Tippy said they're done.
With,
20 years of
they're
Doctor
done
Who.
with
And that's it.
Shooty. They're done with Shooty in that genre and that era, but they're not done.
Yeah.
No.
They're not done.
The whole show is about the whole of 20 years of Doctor Who. They finished now. It's kaput. It's done after that.
No.
That's what that show's about. It's not about Shooty. It's about the whole 20 years
No,
of
it's not
Doctor Who.
Nope.
Okay,
No.
fine. All right.
No, Philip, I love you.
All right.
I'm not.
I love you
against,
too, but
I'm not against. I'm not against
No,
the
but
Philip Archer Whovians sketch action figure. No.
no, but I know. But I'm looking at it objectively, what I've seen and what they're writing and
I don't
what
care. I
we're
don't care
seeing
what
at the
they say.
moment happening to Doctor Who.
I don't care what they say. They're not done.
Like I said, if it comes back,
They're not done.
like I
They're
said
not
in
done.
2027, then fine. If it comes back in 2027, then fair enough.
It's
But they
coming back
have
in a
to
couple
remove
months,
him.
Philip, it's coming back in a couple months.
No, a couple of months. No. No, it's not coming back in a couple of months. You got Land on the Water Sea, but that was already made, so that has to be televised.
You're
So
gonna
they're not doing any more Doctor Who beyond. No, you're not getting that either. There's not that
Merry
either.
Christmas.
You're not getting that either.
Merry Christmas.
No, that's not even being made. They haven't even made that.
No.
Otherwise they would have said, "See you at Christmas." They would have said that. But they didn't do
At the
that.
end of the trailer of
It's
the
going
last
on.
episode of The War Between the Land and the Sea, there'll be a trailer.
No, you're not going to get that. You're not even going to get that.
No.
It's gone for a long hiatus, or it's gone.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Trust me, mate. You're not seeing Doctor.
He
You're
did an
not seeing
interview
Doctor
a
for
month
2 or
ago,
more
and he's
years.
like, I'm working on it. Like he
Yeah,
did
but
an interview a month
like
ago.
you said,
A journalist.
look. Like you said, he lies. So he lied through his teeth anyway.
You know what I mean?
So
He is trying. He didn't. No, even Marty said it the other day. He's trying.
Yeah.
He's manipulating to get the Christmas special out.
A journalist in the Telegraph today said that to win her back, they need to ditch Disney and Russell T Davies and grow up.
Listen, there's weird shit going on that table in that boardroom.
Yeah.
You have no idea. You have no idea what he's trying to do to give to them, to let them do a Christmas special.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, you're going to see some weird shit. You don't think so? Watch. I guarantee it.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm scared for the moment. So
I have a question for you, Philip.
go on, sir.
What streaming service has the rights to Sherlock?
What streaming rights? Oh, I don't know, actually. The BBC. Isn't it the BBC?
In America.
Oh, I wouldn't know that because I'm not an American, so you would know that.
I would.
HBO, Netflix, Disney.
I don't know, but I'll find out.
But Sherlock is a different kind of.
Will you look at that?
Disney Plus.
Wow.
Disney Plus.
Wow.
Disney, yeah.
Isn't
Disney?
that special?
It is Disney Plus.
I wonder why is another show on Disney Plus that's not Doctor Who, that's connected to
Doctor Who.
The Boys Club.
Yeah.
Russell T. Davis, Stephen Moffat, and Chris Chibnall. What is on Disney Plus? Well.
Great.
So let's say, what person's wife a couple of months ago said, we're going to have new Sherlock in the future? Who said that? What wife said that. Oh, Stephen Moffat's wife. Where is Sherlock?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on Disney Plus. How about, well, if you give us the Christmas special, then Stephen Moffat and his team and Mark Gatiss will do a whole season of Doctor Who. In fact, we just had Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman sign the fucking contract that they'll film Sherlock on their 30-minute break every single day.
Oh,
But
fantastic
Sherlock,
impression.
but Sherlock belongs. Sherlock
That's
belongs to
marvelous.
Stephen Moffat. It's not Russell. It's not Russell's baby. It's Stephen Moffat.
No, no,
That's
no.
different.
Who's his
That's totally
buddy?
different.
Who's his buddy?
So,
It doesn't matter.
Virtue.
It doesn't matter who his buddy. It doesn't matter who his buddy is. It's Stephen Moffat made the agreement to do Sherlock with Disney Plus. Stephen Moffat himself, not Russell. It's got nothing to do with Russell.
Wait.
Nothing.
No.
Wait. There's just one problem with your theory. Stephen
Go
Moffat
on.
may want to do Sherlock. Stephen Moffat's wife may want to do Sherlock. But Russell is an employee. I mean, he's connected with Disney Plus, right? Right? I mean, he's just
Oh
Sherlock.
my God!
Yeah.
Look,
Wait.
listen.
Wait, one more thing.
Listen.
Please, one more thing.
Go on.
Yo, one more
Disney
thing.
Plus, I need your help. I want Stephen Moffat to do a season of Sherlock, but we have one problem. Your actors, Benedict Cumberbatch is doing Doctor Strange 3, Avengers Secret Wars, and Avengers Doomsday, and Martin Freeman is doing Avengers and this, and we need them to help us do Sherlock. So could you spare allowing them a month or two to film this for us, and we will put it on Disney Plus, and you grant my best friend to do a season of Sherlock while I could get season 3 of Doctor Who, and I want some slippers too.
But that is Moffat's demand, and he can have that. But Russell's do it. Russell is the one that's.
They
Russell's
can't
only
do
concerned.
Sherlock because they're under contract with Disney Plus, and they're
No.
not allowed to film anything else unless Disney Plus allows them to do other things while they're doing Doctor Strange and Avengers. So they have.
Disney Plus doesn't want Doctor Who. They want to ditch it, and they probably have,
Who said?
and that's why everything went the way it has.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I
I think
act
I
like
know.
It's
Shooty?
obvious, though.
Can I act like Shooty to you for a second, please?
Should
Okay,
be,
go on.
alright.
Okay, darling. Okay, cheeky. Listen. Okay, babe. Listen.
Okay.
Babe, listen. Listen.
Go on, keep going.
I forgot what it is.
You forgot to cry. You forgot.
I'm confused with changing my sexual preference for a second there. Hold on. Okay. I'm telling you, it's money at the end of the day. It's
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
Okay. I want to. Do you remember that we covered this on the Everything Show? And my memory, because I'm 51, is a little fading on it. But do you remember that there was a writer that wanted to do a project, like the company wanted the writer to do this movie, right? I forget what it was. And the guy goes,
Yeah.
I will do this for you if you allow whatever to make a Friday the 13th movie, which had nothing to do with anything. Remember that? We was something we were talking about that vaguely. That the guy loved Friday the 13th, the big name director, whatever, and he loved something else. And he's like, I want another Friday the 13th movie. But what does that have to do with? If you want me to do this $200 million movie, just like I want a Starbucks coffee, I want you to make a Friday the 13th movie, or I want this company to do that. Stupid shit that had nothing to do with stuff made demands, and it happened, right? Besides that, I think it was Turtles too. Was it Michael Bay? Oh yeah, Michael Bay. I think it was Michael Bay that I like Turtles. I want a Turtles movie, but if you want me to do Transformers, I want Turtles, and I want Friday the 13th. But you have not. I don't care. I want another Friday the 13th. But no, but I want it. Okay. Okay. Just like the actor that wants orange M&Ms in his dressing room, and when he comes in, he wants rose petals by his toilet, and he wants a TV in his toilet, right? They have all these weird demands, right? These fucking weird people, right? You don't think that goes on? You don't think that there's like weird fucking things going on? You don't think he's gonna do some weird shit to get a fucking Christmas special for Doctor Who? That he's not gonna pull a rabbit out of his ass? That he's not gonna get what he wants? I'm telling you, he's putting the chess pieces everywhere. Wow, I didn't know Sherlock's on Disney Plus. Fuck.
Yeah.
What else?
It's on.
What else? Should I explore and see? Should we call it the RTD click? And should I search Disney Plus to see if there's whatever shows are connected to all his best fucking friends, producers, directors?
Dracula.
I don't think
someone did. Yeah, someone did mention Dracula. Yeah.
Dracula.
They don't got Dracula. That's Netflix.
Oh.
They don't got it.
Oh dear.
Okay. Oh yeah, Netflix
What's the
does. I
name
remember watching it. You're right.
What's the name of is Chris Chibnall have a new show?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's up to, but if you know something, then fair enough.
Wait, where's Peter Capaldi's show on? The new show. That was Moffat, right? Wasn't that a show block thing with Moffat or something?
Yeah.
What was that Moffat
Netflix.
thing that he did? What was it called?
Netflix.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Oh,
I didn't watch it though.
Wait, hold on.
I don't know.
No. What was the name of
It's a,
what was the name of that new show with Karen Gillan and Alex Kingston Moffat wrote?
I forgot.
Philip, what was the name of that show? That new show.
what we can do?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, wasn't it short? Wasn't it short-lived though? I remember what it was, but I can't remember the name of it. That was very
The
short-lived.
Anchor.
All right. Look.
The Anchor.
What this story is. No, just why am I getting anything from?
Are you talking about Kindle, Connor? He's doing that.
Aw,
Chip,
Russell.
Oh, Connor says that.
Russell commented on Shooty's thing.
Oh, did he? Oh.
I miss you.
okay,
Shooty.
what?
Oh, okay, mate.
Okay.
Connor says that Kindle was writing a novel to be made into a TV show, and he's also doing Agatha Christie for Netflix.
Nice.
Yeah, I bought Chris's novel, but it never got to here, so still waiting on the book. But, yeah.
We're gonna get off here because I gotta eat. But in closing.
Yeah, I know we've been on it, but it's nearly been 4 hours now. 4 hours. I've never been on one for so long. Bloody hell.
May my health be better and regenerating. Thank God. So I'm gonna say in closing, it is a speculation prediction that we are gonna get a Doctor Who future announcement about what's happening on Disney Plus anywhere between this week and the end of where they get a 20. I said this the other day, but they're probably going to compile like a month's worth of ratings on Disney Plus, but we will get an announcement, I guess, within 30 days or whatever, give or take. And I'm leaning towards renewal on Disney Plus. And again,
I hope so.
I just want to be. I have to be a dick right now because I am sometimes.
Sorry.
I have to be a dick. I have to be
Apparently,
a dick.
the
I'm
one.
going to say that I said it's been on Disney Plus season 3, and no one else did. So they're all doom and gloom saying it's canceled. So no, just remember who said it. Mothers.
Yeah.
Mothers. Remember what Matrix. Remember what Matrix 1, 2, and 2 said. It's still on Disney Plus. Thank you.
I don't know. Me personally, I just think they should give it a rest and leave it until they can sort out how to make it.
I don't think, Philip, I'm ever gonna call you babes again in any other cast. I think this was
Yeah.
I think, darling, that this is. I think it's not working right now, and I think that's gonna be it.
No, because
we're not.
You're kind of telling me what. No, but you're kind of telling me. No, you can't. You're kind of telling me white by saying those sort of things to me. So don't do that. Okay.
I'm saying what?
Thank you.
What am I doing?
You're kind of telling me white by saying that. By saying those words, you're telling me white. So please don't do that.
All right. We'll wash our hands.
But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. But I think Doctor Who needs a rest until they can reconfigure how to make it better again. That's all.
I think Russell needs some sleep.
Reconfigure it.
I think he needs to get a good nap so they can write better.
I think he does, actually.
I think he needs.
Yes, he does.
I think that I would suggest that he makes it 14 episodes, and he gets more writers in there that know sci-fi, and he could do his opening and closing. But I want people that have done Doctor Who before to do Doctor Who now. I want him to get people that you wouldn't expect back as writers, and just get more writers, more episodes.
Breaking news. Andy Pryor,
Go on.
casting director of Doctor Who, left the show.
Yeah.
And he's been the casting director since 2005. Some big shit is going on behind the scenes. I think that it might be put on hiatus.
Yeah, I told you, everyone's gone. They fucked off. I read those goodbye notes from Jane Tranter and Phil Collins. They all fucked off. They're not doing it anymore. So what Collins just said adds to the fire. Everybody's fucked off.
Casting director.
Yeah, he's literally cast every Doctor since Eccleston.
Well, wouldn't he leave if you're fucking making Billy Piper back and you're not fucking hiring a new Doctor? Wouldn't you leave?
Unless he's not happy with the shoulder, with the way Russell's going.
Wouldn't you leave? Wouldn't you leave if Billy Piper's a Doctor and you're not be able to cast anybody different? Wouldn't you leave? Why is that a big announcement? Why is that a big announcement, though? Why is that a big announcement?
Unless he didn't know that Billy was getting casted and Russell just done it without him.
Why is that a big announcement, though? He's just going to get somebody else.
Well,
but the point is not Connors saying that. Yeah, go on.
Andy Pryor is like one of them old guard kind of like you think he'd be there forever. Kind of thing.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So now Russell gets somebody in that he can control now, right? Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Possibly.
Right.
No, Joe.
Possibly.
No.
Right.
No, Joe.
But Joe.
It's over.
But Joe.
What's over?
That's a big. Joe, that is a big deal, though. That is a massive deal. If someone like that, who's been there since 2005, fucks off, then you know something's up to shoot. It's all fucked up. It's all gone.
It's gone.
And the people and Jane, and Phil Collins, Jane Tranter, and the other fucking people behind the show, they're all fucked off. They're gone.
Yeah,
Doctor Who is
they're all
done,
gone.
mate. They're not gonna,
Is it?
it's done, mate. It's
Yeah,
done.
it's done.
Would you bet money on that?
Yeah,
I would.
No, you wouldn't.
I do.
I would even buy.
I do.
I would even buy. I would even buy Sharon a wedding dress just to prove my point. Yeah, so you can marry her.
I'm gonna marry her no
It's
matter what.
done,
Anyway,
mate.
so that-
Come on. No, mate. It's a no go future. It's a no go. Why put fucking Piper's face on the end of it? There's no future in Doctor Who
I
now.
have
It's,
no.
he
Let me tell you
fucked it
something, I
over
have no
on
idea. I
purpose.
have no idea why he did that. I don't agree with it. You don't agree with it. Nobody agrees with it. I said
Hmm.
the F word more times than anything. So, I may want Doctor to go in a positive direction. I may want different things to change, but it's not done. Sorry. If
Yeah,
I knew
what the
for a
hell?
fact it was done from my source, I would come on here and say my source said it's motherfucking done. My source does not put a fucking new message that it's done in the. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna message my source, my main source, today, and ask him flat
hmm
out, and I will come back on a Real Whovians.
Okay.
I will let you know,
Okay.
and I will let you know
Okay.
Very
if it's
well.
done. And if my source says it's done, I will come on here and say, stick a fucking fork in it like a hot dog. Chick said it's fucking done. Okay?
Yeah, but even sources, no matter who they are, can sometimes, fuck you about. Then no one's immune to being fucked about. Even sources can do that to anybody, just to wind them up. So be careful what you're asking and be careful how they reply.
Everybody had said that when Y2K happened, the computers were going to crash, the world was going to end. Didn't happen. People said this asteroid's coming, the
Yeah.
world's going to end. Didn't happen. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I could be crazy. I could be senile. It could be whatever. I don't fucking believe it.
There's
And
only,
also,
there's
and al-
there's only three things guaranteed: life, death, and Matrix Law 212.
and also,
Yeah.
I remember I said earlier. Also, remember I said earlier that they rented out the whole of that Bad
Yeah.
Wolf studio to other people to make their stuff. There's no Doctor Who coming forward.
Oh, they even rented out the main one, which Doctor Who is on.
If Sammy Carter came on this cast and said Doctor Who was done,
Oh, you
then I
believe it?
believe it. We had old Doc back then. You realize that? We had motherfucking old Doc come back. Out of the fucking the other universe, out of the fucking Pandorica, out of the fucking end of the fucking universe. We had old Doc come back there.
If he can come back, anyone can come back.
Okay. And he came back last night, but in the comments.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. If he can come back, then anyone can come back. There you go. There you go, Sammy.
And the Real Whovians cast is back, getting more powerful by the day. Why would Doctor Who be done? No.
It's all right. We're going to react to the classic series at this rate.
Russell loves us, even though he's mad at me.
We'll start with you in the classic series going into the Blue hiatus break.
I will be in that TARDIS window.
At any rate, Doctor Who needs a rest for a while because it needs to be
I need a rest.
And
I need a rest. I didn't even fucking eat today. I ate a donut.
Yeah, you were going nearly 4 hours, bro.
I need a rest.
Nearly 4 hours on the.
I'm literally. It goes to show the loyalty that I'm losing my gaming rank because I want to do the Real Whovians. Isn't that amazing? I built all for years this stuff. I'm gonna go back to gaming. So anyway, I'm gonna eat something. The Real Whovians cast will be back later.
Yeah. I gotta do my.
Oh, okay.
Take care.
Yeah, I got things to do. Well, thank you.
Bye.